out to be as good as Wild Card Weekend was. Have a great weekend.
The Carton Show, afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, right. WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Evan Roberts. Tiki Barber. Hello. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
What a day. Good morning to you. Welcome to Friday. A lot of football to get to. It's Divisional Weekend. Yay! But obviously, late last night, the New York Mets and New York Mets fans were handed a very similar note to what they've had this entire offseason, and that is, no, you're not getting Kyle Tucker. Before I offer you my emotions and my opinions, let's just get it out of the way. Tiki Barber, do your Dodger tirade. You knew it. You predicted it. They're the Dodgers. Go ahead. Just
if
get it out of your
there's
system.
anybody, especially coming from Japan, if there's anybody who the Dodgers might just even slightly need, not like desperately need, but because that's obvious, but just slightly need, they're going to L.A. Why? Because L.A. gives you a chance to win. They're going to pay you whatever you want to be paid, or maybe not whatever. Probably slightly above your best offer.
Yep.
And ultimately, you're going to go out there. We did the math on this. And look, this isn't fair because what Guggenheim Partners has under management, assets under management, is not all related to their investments in sports franchises. But just for context, Guggenheim Partners has $350 billion under management. And so we sit here and we talk about, oh, they're going to pay 110% on every dollar that they pay Kyle Tucker. Their payroll is $340 million or something like that. They're going to have to pay $160 million in payroll tax or whatever it is. So maybe it's just under $500 million. That's like 0.08% of the assets that Guggenheim has. So it's money. I know they have a favorable TV deal as well, one of one in all of Major League Baseball. They make a ton of money because they've won back-to-back championships, and they're the LA Dodgers, for Christ's sakes, and they dominate the Japanese market. So all of that revenue comes into this team, meaning they can spend whatever they want. They're going to keep winning and keep taking all the best free agents until this changes. That's just a fact.
All right. And I'm sure there'll be a day to break down the changes and baseball's broken and the salary cap, blah, 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 blah. Everything you said is right. It's why I feared the Dodgers. It's why you predicted the Dodgers. No one is surprised this morning or last night that Kyle Tucker is an LA Dodger. How I feel as a Met fan is I am pissed.
Why?
Now, am I pissed at this? I'll explain why. Am I pissed at Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers? No. Am I pissed at the offer they made to Kyle Tucker? No. The Mets made a real offer. The Mets made an offer that you yesterday said was absurd.
It's true.
The Mets made an offer
and
that...
it was worse than I thought, by the way.
Worse. It was further.
They were giving him 70-something million as a signing bonus.
And they were offering him a front-loaded deal. The Mets offered Kyle Tucker $60 million next year and $60 million the year after that. And I know what would have come with that. We would have argued, is he worth it? You're paying him more than Soto. I get it. And I believe the Mets made a real offer. And I believe that this wasn't a Will Pawnee, it's not a real offer, we're just trying to get good publicity. Like, I don't believe any of that. I believe the Mets thought they had a chance to sign Kyle Tucker. And so I thought the contract offer was fair. I thought it was aggressive. I'm not mad at Steve Cohen and David Stearns for their pursuit of Kyle Tucker. Not at all. I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised. I kind of felt if the Dodgers came close, he'd be an LA Dodger, and that's exactly what happened. My anger and my pissed offness is the situation we're in.
Which is
what?
You
Look at the team.
You are stuck with an inferior roster than you had a year ago.
I am stuck off an 82, 83 win season. I've already forgotten the exact win total. Doesn't even matter. With a team that lost Pete Alonso and his stick and have not replaced him. Now, I'd argue they've replaced Brandon Nimmo. Jorge Polanco puts up similar numbers. They've replaced Jeff McNeil. Marcus Semien could very well be better. But Pete Alonso, who was clutch last year, who drove in 1 billion runs, who offered protection for Juan Soto, I haven't even mentioned homegrown. I'm past that. They haven't replaced him. They tried with Kyle Tucker, and it was a gallant effort.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll give you your little ribbons. Good effort. What I'm mad about on January 16th, and I do think in this regard I speak for most Met fans, is that where are we? What is this team a month away from spring training? Where do they pivot to? How are they competing? Forget what the Dodgers. We all know the Dodgers are better. How are they competing with Philly? How are they competing with Atlanta? How are they making the postseason? So my anger today, and I hate to tell you this because I really don't like going backwards. My anger today is you could have brought Pete back. My anger today is you could have signed Kyle Schwarber. My anger today is more about that than it is Tucker, because if we're being fair, and I want to be fair, they tried to get the player.
Right.
They made an obscene offer to Kyle Tucker. And the only argument a Met fan can make today, and you can make it if you want, is they should have been more. It shouldn't have been 60. It should have been 70.
But
sure.
I don't think it would have mattered. It feels like it wouldn't have mattered.
Maybe not.
Because we heard all for the last week plus, because there was a lot of noise around Kyle Tucker. But the noise was Toronto and the New York Mets. Mm-hmm. And the Toronto Blue Jays offer was for 10 years. He wanted length. And now maybe the AAV is significantly down, $40 or less $million per season, but it was 10 years. We know that he wanted length and longevity, and the Mets weren't willing to do that. But right. The AAV was huge. We talked about how you were paying a tax to have a shorter deal for Kyle Tucker, and that was what we thought. Yeah. Toronto and the New York Mets. And I know maybe he didn't want to play in Toronto.
I don't think he did.
He didn't, but look, Toronto made a lot of moves this offseason, right? They've had a lot of signings this offseason or trades. And so Toronto is what it is. Plus, they were in the World Series a year ago.
Right.
So they give you that also chance to win. The Dodgers do what the Dodgers do. They just sit and hold back and play coy and just ultimately decide, all right, oh, that's the best offer you've gotten? How about this one?
Yeah.
Is that good for you too?
Right.
You need an extra $5 million. Okay, is that good for you? So they poach the best offers for the free agents that they need.
Yeah.
And they needed a corner outfielder.
Yeah, they actually did. I mean, they don't need anything, but they could use it, I guess is the best way to define it.
I mean, they had league average players playing the position last year. So it is what it is. But if you can upgrade and you don't really got to put in tons of work, you just kind of come in at the end and say, all right, we'll give you a little bit more. Right. We'll defer $30 million. So you got, this paycheck coming well after you've left us, or we'll sign you. It depends on what happens.
So your point is that there's nothing the Mets could have done.
There's nothing the Mets could have done. If the Mets would have went up to $65 million AAV, the Dodgers would have done it.
And the other thing the Dodgers had over the Mets, and this is why for weeks, whenever I talked about this, whether it was you or on the Rico, I never believed they would get him, is that if it's close with the Dodgers, not only can they just not make it close and outbid the Mets,
right,
but they offer a better situation.
Yes.
They're everything we're not. Like Kyle Tucker goes to L.A., he's in a better lineup. He's on a better team. He is guaranteed to play in the postseason. He's not guaranteed to play in the postseason with the Mets. He's just not. So the Dodgers always had that edge, which is why, look, there are different ways we could approach this, Met fans, today. You could very well call up, argue with Tiki, and say Cohen should have offered more. Mm-hmm. If he's really Steve Cohen, if he's really the king, why not $70 million a year? The reason I'm not engaging in that is because what's the end? At what point? Like, should they have offered $90 million a year? Yeah. I mean, they made an obscene offer for Kyle Tucker. They did not get him. That's option of irrationality number one. Option of irrationality number two is to claim this is all a smokescreen and they weren't actually trying to sign Kyle Tucker and all Steve Cohen cares about is a casino. I'm past that. I don't buy that crap.
No, that's not true.
Here's what's going on, in my opinion, and you don't have to like it because I don't.
Well, it could also be true.
What?
He cares about the casino.
I'm sure he cares about the casino.
It's also true, but it's not why nothing's happening with the Mets.
I'll ask it this way. Did the Mets try to sign Kyle Tucker?
They absolutely tried.
It was a legitimate try?
Of course it was.
Okay. So then stop right there. They didn't get him. They tried.
It was almost a done deal.
It felt that way.
Yes.
It felt like they had a real chance to get him. The other irrationality we can have is that this was all a smokescreen. They didn't really try. I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. Where I'm at now, and I'm going to give it a few more minutes before we jump into it because we need to react to Kyle Tucker. My reaction is, now what are you going to do? Because that's what this entire offseason has been. When they lost Pete Alonso, my reaction is, what are you going to do about it? Where are you pivoting? All year we've said they're making a painting. Let's see what the final painting looks like. Well, right now, it's tough to imagine that the final painting is going to be a Picasso. But here's what I think is going on right now with David Stearns and Steve Cohen. And you don't have to like it, but I think all the evidence points that this is the case. They are willing to spend. Mm-hmm. If you're going to call up today and say David Stearns is a small market GM, I think you're wrong. He offered Kyle Tucker $50 million a year. The problem is, and it's hurting the Mets right now, is they don't go long-term. They have not gone long-term with a single free agent outside of Soto and the offer they made to Yamamoto. That's not what they do. And I don't think that's changing today. I don't think Steve Cohen is going to see angry tweets and say, let's go 7 years for Cody Bellinger. They have a strategy of short-term high AAV. That's their strategy. And so far, it hasn't given us any fruits.
Yeah. No, you're
right.
So
it's frustrating because I get their strategy. I know why they think it. But if you want to add players, Tiki, sometimes you got to get uncomfortable.
Well, you do have to get uncomfortable. And maybe you do go to a ridiculously high AAV, even if it is a short-term deal, or you buck the trend. They bucked it for Juan Soto, obviously, because he's here forever, Juan Soto. But is it just limited to the Juan Sotos of the world? And again, to me, this feels like an age thing. Juan Soto was the right age to get that kind of deal.
He's also better.
And he's better.
Yeah.
Let's face it. But Kyle Tucker, while good, is not Juan Soto. And he's 29 years old this weekend. And so if you're giving him a long-term deal, you're going to maybe regret it on the back end. I don't think you're regretting it on the back end of Juan Soto. I don't think you regret it on the back end of Yamamoto because he was also young. And by the way, that's another example of the Dodgers just swooping in at the end and saying, hey, here's a little bit more. And by the way, you're going to win. And you'll be an icon.
Oh, and you'll be a World Series MVP.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, like we know what the Dodgers are going to do. And so if you are the Mets or really any other major league team, you have to fear that. And so there has to be always a plan B. What is your plan B? They don't have a positional plan B for Kyle Tucker. The pivot's now got to be we got to make ourselves one of the best pitching teams in the National League.
I do,
and
have,
that's easier said than done. But what other pivot is there?
I have a pivot. I'll unveil to you at 11 o'clock. I've been working very hard on it. I have a fair Met pivot. Now,
Don't tell me Cody Bellinger because they're not going 7 years.
I will tell you what it is at 11. Don't get it out of me. I have it all written down, all figured out.
All right.
And I want to remind you when we get there, pivots are not your first option. So don't argue with me, this isn't as good as this or this. Of course it's not. What bothered me this morning when I got the news, because I didn't get it last night, I went to sleep early. And the reason I went to sleep early is all freaking Steph Curry's fault. I wanted to wake up early to watch Knicks Warriors West Coast. I knew I couldn't last till 1 a.m., so I figured I'll go to bed by 9:30, I'll wake up at 4, and I'll watch the Knicks game. So that's why I didn't know last night, nor did I do a Rico until this morning. But when I woke up this morning and I got the news, and by the way, do you want to hear how I got the news?
How did you get the news?
I have audio. Ladies and gentlemen, I received a voicemail that I checked. First thing I checked in the morning, this was the voicemail. Here we go.
Evan, it's 11 o'clock. I've tried calling you. I've tried texting you. I'm sorry to break the news, but Kyle Tucker is a Dodger, and I'm pissed. Let's do a Rico.
Wow. That is Pete Hoffman, who just had more words on our show than the Carton show.
I was going to say, we finally heard from him.
So that's how I got the news. And it took me 30 seconds to go from the disappointment of not getting the player to being pissed off that they weren't more aggressive at keeping Pete Alonso. And I know that's irrational, and I know we need to move on from Pete. I'm just being honest that the reason you're not hearing me scream about the offers to Tucker or they weren't aggressive enough to Tucker is because that's not true. They were. The mistake was, and here's my question to David Stearns and Steve Cohen, who will never appear on this show. Here's my question. If you were willing to go to an absurd AAV with Kyle Tucker on a short-term deal.
To the point where you were giving him, in 2 years, $30 million less than Alonso got in 5 years.
Right. And you were willing to give him more than Juan Soto.
Yeah.
While I agree.
AAV-wise.
AAV. While I agree Kyle Tucker is a better all-around player than Pete Alonso, you can't tell me he's double the player. So if you were willing to go to $60 million for Kyle Tucker, why didn't you offer Pete Alonso $40 a year? And again, not 5 years. I'm meeting in the middle, Stearns. You don't want to give him 5 years. Fine. We made a deal.
Right.
2 years, $90 million. Now, before you tell me, Evan, that's absurd, $45 million for a broken down first baseman, you just offered 60 to Kyle Tucker.
Right.
So my anger this morning, when you say, why are you angry? I'm not angry about losing Kyle Tucker. I'm angry about the fact that we're in this position to begin with, and I look back at the misses from earlier in the offseason, and I wonder why.
But don't you have to now just accept that the New York Mets wanted to change their clubhouse? And that even if it was painful, they had to do it. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not even justifying it, but it feels like we got to revamp the core. I know it sucks. We got to get rid of Pete. We got to get rid of Edwin Diaz. We got to get rid of Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. We got to get rid of all those guys, but we got to remake the core of this clubhouse. Something is just not right.
Yeah.
And they were committed to that. They were steadfast on that, and regardless of the emotions around Pete Alonso and they didn't even give him an offer.
Well, that's my anger.
So it's clear that they had moved on in their heads.
But that's my anger. If you weren't going to go to 5 years, which they never were, and I'm not even
about
arguing
the
it.
offer. It's about the decision to move on from all of those guys.
Well, so where I would counter with you is, sure, I understand. Forget about locker room issues. It's not even that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you just want to say underachieving, which is fair enough.
Which they did, by the way.
They historically underachieved a year ago, and even 2 years earlier, they underachieved. And the year before that, they had a great year and collapsed at the end. If you even wanted to go through that and say that's why I needed to change the team, okay, fine. You've sold me on Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Simeon. You got me.
83 wins, by the way.
83. You've convinced me. I get Nimmo for Simeon. You can't convince me walking away from a slugger and not even making an offer.
Yeah.
So I apologize to everyone in the audience for bringing up an old story, but I'm being honest with you. I'm not angry this morning about Kyle Tucker. I'm angry about the situation we're in. But I do want to be positive. I received it, and this is right up your alley, Tiki, before we get to your calls. This is for you. I received an email from Sean from Texas. And Sean wanted me to inspire Met fans by going and doing a speech to my fellow Met fans. So give me some music. Give me some mood music. I'm going to quote Winston Churchill.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Is this starting with my fellow Met fans?
What?
Are you starting with my fellow Met fans?
My fellow Met fans.
There you go.
We shall fight in the National League. We shall fight in parks and in the fields. We shall fight on ingrowing confidence and growing strength in our prospects and pitchers. We shall defend our place in the standings, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight in the trade market and in the waiver claims. We shall fight in the overseas market and in the draft. We shall never surrender. That was Churchill.
That sounds like Churchill.
Did that inspire anybody?
Where's Mike Tyson? Hit you in the jaw and say, I got to change the plans now.
We'll get to your calls next, your reaction to this, 888-808-1019. I will unveil the pivot plan coming up at 11. And this whole thing has created a grand conspiracy I now have about the Dodgers, Major League Baseball, and Rob Manfred that I want to throw at you coming up in a few minutes. The toll-free number is 888-808-1019. It is Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash for the next 4 hours.
This Rutgers report is brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. The Rutgers men's basketball team picked up their second Big Ten win of the season Sunday night with a thrilling overtime victory past Northwestern. Head coach Steve Peichel, now 17 games in with a 9-8 record, likes the direction of the team.
These guys are getting better. They're learning. They're accepting, whatever roles. And who plays well plays a lot. So it's kind of, when you look at the minutes, guys that played well played a lot.
Next up, a 5-day, 2-game road trip that lands them in Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow, and then at Iowa Tuesday night. Both games can be heard right here on The Fan. And a huge weekend on tap for the 17th ranked wrestling program as they are home to number 13 Michigan tonight and then home for Purdue Sunday afternoon. That's the Rutgers Report. I'm Jerry Recco on Sports Radio 101.9 FM The Fan.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Something big just rolled into 7-Eleven. Meet our 4 new Johnsonville sausages. Hot and ready on the roller grill. Smoky cheddar, loaded with Wisconsin creamy cheddar smoked with real hardwood chips. Jalapeno cheddar, bold and melty cheddar with a spicy jalapeno kick. Smoked Polish, seasoned with black pepper and garlic, slow smoked for serious flavor. And ultimate Italian, bursting with basil, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. Right now at 7-Eleven, get any 2 roller grill items for just $3.50. That's any 2 roller grill items for $3.50 at at 7-Eleven. Valid through 3/3/26. Participating stores only while supplies last. Visit store for full terms.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling. There's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease your 2025 Mazda CX-5 for only $209 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Town Fair Tire sells Continental winter tires for the guaranteed lowest price because we stock more Continental tires than any other tire dealer. So we buy for less and we sell Continental winter tires for less. Plus, you always get more from Town Fair. Yes, more free services than any other tire dealer. Now with over 120 locations and still growing. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. I mean, nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
History's masterpieces wouldn't be the same without their most notable accents. Neither would the Kia Sportage without its multiple drive modes. The Kia Sorento without its expansive 12.3-inch panoramic display. Or the Kia Telluride without its 3 rows of spacious seating. The Kia SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Hi, it's Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a very happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And while that's not an easy thing for me to achieve, my friends at CertaPro Painters had no such problems. Big jobs, small jobs, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's good to let it out by calling the WFAN Sports Fan Helpline. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
We'll get to all the football games a little bit later on, including our NFL picks. And also, who did it worse, me versus Craig, in getting something very, very wrong during this MLB offseason? We'll get to all that coming up a little bit later on. And in the next few minutes, I do want to unveil a conspiracy I have around Major League Baseball, the LA Dodgers, and Rob Manfred. But let's hear from the Met fan, obviously reacting to the news of late last night or early this morning, depending on when you got it, which is that Kyle Tucker is not only not joining the New York Mets, he's joining the LA Dodgers on an absurd $240 million contract offered to them, or offered to Tucker via the LA Dodgers. 888-808-1019, the number. Let's kick it off with Lamar in New Jersey. What's up, Lamar?
Yeah, guys, I have 3 quick questions for you. Yep. So my first one is, who's better, Yamamoto or Garrett Crochet?
Yamamoto or Garrett Crochet?
Probably Crochet last year.
I don't know. I'm biased because of what he did
in the postseason was just, dude, it was spectacular.
You know how I would answer that? I think moving forward, and Tiki will love this, I have more confidence in Crochet because of his body type.
Yes, there you go.
But they're both awesome, and they both could have been Mets. Is that your point, Lamar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in the case of Yamamoto, they tried. They made a major bid on the guy. Now, my critique at the time was, if you're going to negotiate against the Yankees and the Dodgers, you have to leave no doubt. You have to have a shock and awe negotiation, so you can't let it be close.
But doesn't it feel like the Dodgers, who really wanted him, would have done exactly what they did?
You may be right. I don't know ultimately, but I think it needed to be absurd. As far as Crochet is concerned, it was a trade. And ultimately, I don't know what it was going to take. But what have I told you? Nolan McLean needed to be in the trade. Mm-hmm. Would you pause on that?
Well,
at the time you wouldn't. At the time you would have been like,
at the time you would have been like, fine, go ahead, good. You can have Sproat too. Good luck, because Crochet was amazing.
But where Lamar is accurate is that those are two pitchers that the Mets absolutely pursued and they didn't end up with for very different reasons. In the Yamamoto case, the Dodgers, and in the Crochet case, they just never met the ask that the Chicago White Sox had.
Yeah, what did they get? I don't even remember.
They got a ton of prospects from Boston, but they did well.
Right.
Well, we'll see if they did well. Like in theory, they did well.
We have no idea.
Yeah. Let's go to Chris in Manhattan. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys. I'm borderline hyperventilating, so I'll do my best here. You know, guys, I think we might have dodged a bullet. I was as excited as anyone, and about mid-afternoon yesterday, I just started to look at Tucker's numbers and just stuff I heard about him. And I had this sinking feeling that this guy would have gotten crushed in New York if it didn't work out well. All that stuff in Chicago, they gave him mental rest days. I mean, Tiki, I'd love you to talk about
that wouldn't have flown here. Hey, Tuck, why are you taking a day off? You know, I got to chill for a minute.
Especially at $50 million a year.
I'm mentally exhausted today, so you know I got to chill out. So I'm going to take a couple days off. That you'd get crushed in New York for doing that.
He would have got crushed, and I understand the worries. I still would have done it. And my thinking behind it was because it was short term. It's not like I'm married to this for 9 years. If it's a disaster, worst case, I eat it for 4 years and I move on.
We always talk about this, like why it's so hard to play in New York, and it's obviously the media attention, and when you have negativity around your game for whatever reason. Like for me, it was fumbling. If it could be Juan Soto, he started the season, he wasn't doing the shuffle, he wasn't hitting. The media hits you, but once you've been here for just a little bit, you realize the heightened expectation of the fan, and they will not come after you, but they will put the pressure on you.
Yeah.
The fan base, your home team, will put the pressure on you when you're underperforming. And so, yes, it's part of the media that it's hard to play here, but it's also the expectation of a ridiculously knowledgeable fan base. So they know. Yeah. You're not getting past them saying, yeah, no, I did well. When you clearly didn't.
No, you're right. And I think that the concern of how Tucker would have handled New York is absolutely a fair one. I don't want to dismiss it, but I also don't want to be a hypocrite. I wanted the player, and I was willing to take those risks. I think those are risks that are attached to every player you add to New York. You don't know how they're going to handle it.
Right.
And were there some warning signs about Kyle Tucker? Sure. But I'd be lying to you if I said today, oh, yeah, they dodged a bullet. Like, we'll find out, obviously. If he goes to L.A. and can't stay healthy, sure. History will tell us that. But in the moment, I wanted the player.
But there's no pressure on him in L.A. I mean, you have Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani. Where's the pressure?
You know where
Kyle
the pressure
Tucker?
is? And this is, I was talking myself into this, and I think this is the case in L.A. Here's the pressure. Because he turned down a long-term contract, The pressure is you just bet on yourself.
It's on him.
On himself.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You just placed a bet. Now, worst case scenario for Kyle, if he turns into Anthony Rendon, he's still getting $240 million, which is nice. But he has an opt-out after 2 years. He's banking on opting out.
Right.
And so my thought would have been if he took that deal with the Mets, great. He's showing some cojones. Because even though, yes, he's getting a lot of money, he's banking on the fact that he's going to re-enter the marketplace in 2 years.
Yeah. His signing bonus for the Dodgers is 50, 54.
Less than the Met offer.
Mets offered 75.
The Mets offer, and this is what's weird about it, like the Dodgers offered him more money in totality.
Yeah.
Where the Mets beat the Dodgers is in the 2 guaranteed years. If he had accepted the Met offer and opted out after 2, or accepted the Dodger offer and opted out after 2, he was getting more money from the Mets.
Right.
So that's where you could kind of twist this however you want in terms
was
of
the deferral dependent on him being there, or was that coming regardless?
I'm not sure about that aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the deferral language. That's the only thing that's different. But you're right.
The Mets front-loaded the contract.
Right.
The Dodgers didn't.
And he was getting a $75 million check.
Exactly.
If you get a $75 million check, you're good.
Yeah. Which shows you.
For life.
It shows you not that he didn't want to come here, but that he wanted to go there.
Yes.
And honestly, if you want to debate that, I don't really care at this point. Oh, he used the Mets. Who gives a crap? He's not a Met. Doesn't even matter.
Isn't that what we said yesterday? If you're going to end up being on a 2-year deal with the new team, coming from Chicago, the new team you're going to be on, don't you want to go and opt out? 2 years and opt out. Don't you want to go win?
Yeah.
Don't you want to go make yourself, even if it's by riding the tail, the backside, whatever it is. What's the idiom? Riding the tailcoats? What?
The tailcoats.
Tailcoats of the
Coattails.
Coattails, right. The coattails.
That's a double idiom
That's
with
a
idiom.
double super idiom with idiots. Riding the coattails of this Dodgers back-to-back repeat. Don't you want to do that?
Yeah, I get
and then go get paid at 31.
Yes, he's in a better
it's
position.
Obvious. He's in a much better position by going to Los Angeles than rather than coming to New York.
Mark's in Brooklyn. Good morning, Mark. Mark.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
What up, Mark?
What's up, man?
Guys, listen, I find it, sorry about that. I find it kind of funny how the difference in standards of sports fans in this town. So if Giants didn't get John Harbaugh, the story would have been, the Giants tradition's changing. We're not the same old team. If the Yankees weren't able to get Aaron Judge or some of these guys, the Yankees aren't the same old team. When the Mets fail to get people as, there's going to be a lockout in the big bad LA Dodgers. This isn't a case of anyone's overspending. You're right. You played it out well. The Mets out offer, if this goes as Kyle Tucker planned, was larger. Guys, let's look at it. Whether it's Ohtani, whether it's Yamamoto, whether it's Edwin Diaz, people don't want to go to the Mets. People have absolutely no interest in playing for Aunt Stevie. It's not a Dodger issue. It's not a baseball issue. People have absolutely no issue or interest right now in playing for the New York Mets. There's nothing there. And last
Mark,
year, what we had to hear was there's the family atmosphere with Jan Soto and the family bucks and Yahoo. You don't have a captain. Francisco Lindor doesn't know leadership from his you-know-what. There's no appeal right now to play for the New York Mets, and nobody's talking about it.
I think you know why, though. It's because 1 year you win 101 games. The next year you win 75 games. The year after that, you make the postseason, you win 89 games. And then this last year, you win 83 and miss. So it's just like you can't claim to be an elite team and then ride the roller coaster of getting to the postseason.
They're not an elite team. They haven't proven that, like you just said.
But Met fans want to believe that they are because they've signed.
We know full well what we are.
And they've spent money, whether it's on the 40-year-old pitchers or Juan Soto. If you are an elite team, you are the Dodgers.
Yeah, but
you win consistently. You are constantly in the postseason.
Who's saying they're the Dodgers, though? We all know we're not.
Nobody says that. I'm just telling you that Mark was right.
No, I think you went too far. To say no one wants to play for the Mets isn't fair.
No,
I don't have evidence of that. I have evidence that the Dodgers are more appealing.
I think what he's saying is the top end guys who have choices are always going to choose the other team.
Okay.
That's basically what he should have said.
I still disagree with you. Here's where I'll go. And I'm only basing this on evidence. I'm only basing this, not my fan emotion. Do you think if the Dodgers sat this out, if the Dodgers never got involved in the Tucker sweepstakes, what team would Kyle Tucker have signed with, in your opinion? The Blue Jays on a long-term offer.
Cynical, I'm going to say the Blue Jays.
Okay, my gut tells me it probably would have been the Mets. It feels like it would have been the Mets. I can't prove that. So that doesn't reek of no one wants to play for the Mets. It reeks of they can't compete with the Dodgers. Like, they didn't lose out on Kyle Tucker or these free agents when they've been bidding high to teams other than the Dodgers.
Evan, here's the issue.
Same with Edwin Diaz.
But here's the issue with this. How many teams are going to be in the market? So the top free agent, whatever the position, how many teams are going to be in the market?
Handful.
I think it's less than a handful.
Yeah, it depends.
I think it's 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 might be Toronto because they've been willing to spend money over the last couple of years. Maybe every 5 years, it'll be the Texas Rangers who decide to, you know what, we got oil money down here.
Or in this case, the Orioles. They just gave Pete Alonso 5 years, $155.
Right, because they have a new 2 years ago billionaire owner.
Yeah.
So every year there's going to be these massive potential free agents, and there's going to be 2 or 3 teams that are bidding. The Dodgers are always going to be one of them. The Mets should always be one of them.
Absolutely.
The Yankees were not even considering it any longer. So when you throw that fact out there, and it's always going to be the Mets, the Dodgers, and then some third team, Rangers, Blue Jays, whoever, Orioles, the option is clear where you're going to go.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
It's never going to be the Mets.
Yeah,
I think that's his point.
No, that's not his point. His point is no one wants to play for the Mets, period. And I think that's going too far.
True. I don't think that's
true.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm disagreeing with that point. Like, they can't compete with the Dodgers. Everything you said is right. I'm not arguing that. The Dodgers are on another level. But the idea of no one wants to play for the Mets, and I don't know if our last call was a Met fan or maybe he's a Morashian Met hater. I don't know. I just don't, and I'm pretty negative right now.
Sean, stop telling your uncle to call.
I mean, jeez. Definitely not a Met fan, by the way.
I don't see any evidence of that, I guess would be my polite way of saying that. I see evidence that they lose to the Dodgers all the time. I got Edwin Diaz. I got Yamamoto. I got what just happened with Tucker. Like, plenty of evidence. Trevor Bauer years ago. Like, I got it.
But Yamamoto and Tucker in particular feel like the deals were very similar. And if you really wanted to play in New York, you just come to New York.
Well, but I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that I don't think the Met problem in free agency is as deep as our last caller described, which is no one wants to play here. I think it's as simple as right now, there's a list of teams you want to play for. And it starts and it ends with the Dodgers.
Yeah, they are the evil empire.
They
said
are
this 5 years ago. People kept calling the Mets the new evil empire. No, they weren't, Sal Licata. They were never. It was always the Dodgers.
Let me rephrase your evil empire line, because I don't even think that's accurate anymore. They're the evil empire on steroids.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I remember the Yankees. A lot of us do. And when they got Roger Clemens after winning 114 games, that's a baller move.
Yeah.
But even that doesn't feel comparable
you know what this is?
to what the Dodgers
to piggyback on what we said yesterday, we were talking about yesterday. This is Emperor Palpatine of the Darth Vader series, Sith, what was his name? Darth Sidious, getting Luke Skywalker and Han Solo to come to the dark side. That's what this is.
It's exactly what it is.
That's what the Dodgers are.
Now, with that said, would you like to hear, and I apologize if anyone else has said this, because sometimes, and I'm always careful now, when I think I have an idea, it's very possible someone else has said it as well. So if you've already said this, I apologize, but I have a conspiracy theory about what's going on with the LA Dodgers in Major League Baseball.
Oh, let's hear it.
So when the Dodgers make a move like this, the reaction from most people, not around here because we're concerned with ourselves, is baseball's broken, baseball needs a salary cap, this is horrible for baseball, it's ruining baseball. Everybody around here thinks it. We don't usually talk about it because we're more concerned with the Mets and the Yankees. I did hear Boomer say it at the top of the show, and I love Boomer. I don't think that's what most people are thinking in this moment who are Met fans, but you're right. Boomer's not wrong that he was kind of speaking for the majority of baseball fans, that's what they say. Now, I happen to disagree with them, but this isn't about me.
Right.
That's the reaction when the Dodgers make a move. Agreed?
Yep.
I believe Rob Manfred loves every second of it, and I believe Rob Manfred tells the Dodgers, keep going, baby. He loves this because Rob Manfred wants not to destroy baseball. He wants to destroy the system. He wants a salary cap, and he wants it badly. And he wants to go to the players and say, I have no choice.
Yeah, but
he loves what the Dodgers are doing. So anyone who says, oh, Rob Manfred must hate this, I call BS on it.
Yeah.
He'll never admit it. Craig or Big Mac could ask him it. He'd laugh it off and change the subject. Rob Manfred wants the Dodgers to break baseball because if baseball's broken, he gets to fix it with his salary cap that the players will never accept. Tell me where I'm wrong.
So who's going to complain about it?
Everybody.
No. Fans are going to complain about it.
Small market owners, mid-market owners.
Okay.
Big market, the Yankees want it.
Yeah, Hal probably complains about it. Not fair.
Well,
wham.
I think you're right. The Hals of the world will complain about this. Maybe Steve Cohen, but I doubt it. Will complain about this. It's those teams that are asset rich, but not actually sitting with billions of dollars in the bank themselves personally. Those teams will complain about it. The players will never complain about it because the player is still getting paid.
This is about pushing the players to a salary cap. This isn't about convincing the players.
I know, but the player is never going to say, I want a salary cap. You can't argue to the player, well, you're never going to win a championship. You're going to spend a decade, maybe a decade and a half playing for whoever, the Baltimore Orioles, and you're never going to win a championship. That player is ultimately going to say, yeah, but I get paid $40 million a year.
No, but you're not.
I get paid $30 million a year.
You're not convincing the players.
I'm getting paid $10 million a year.
No, but you're never going to convince the players. But what you are going to do is win the PR battle. Because I guarantee right now, most baseball fans out there, maybe not us, we're Met fans, Yankee fans, big market teams. Most baseball fans are screaming at the top of their lungs, the sport's broken and it needs a salary cap. The Dodgers are ruining baseball. That's what they're screaming. And Rob Manfred's like in the back, nodding his head like, yes, say it louder. Rob Manfred loves this. He loved it. If I could get into a secret lair last night, Rob Manfred was rubbing his hands together like, yeah, keep going, L.A. Keep going. Sign Bo Bichette while you're at it. Yeah, keep going. Sign Framber Valdez. Take them all. Because the more that happens, the more the screaming is, the more the complaining is, and the more Rob Manfred believes he'll have the wind at his back when he forces a salary cap on Major League Baseball players. Am I lying?
No, but I don't think it's going to work.
Oh, I don't think it's going to work. I'm just telling you, that's what I think is going on right now. You buy that one?
100%, because he has me screaming. I'm so Team Manfred at this point. It's beyond belief.
And you're a Yankee fan.
Yeah. But I've always felt this way. This isn't a new parachuting in. I even thought when the Yankees did it, it was a little absurd. But this is, like you said, on steroids.
Well, I got good news for you. We got a lot of time after the Giants win the Super Bowl to talk about this next February when there is no baseball.
No doubt.
I'll have plenty of time. Let's go to John in Corona. What's up, John?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yo's good.
Hey, listen, diehard Met fan here. Just if you could, 2 points. Just extremely frustrated with two people. One of them, and it's not Cohen. So even the last caller, like, they're trying to take digs at the Mets and nobody wants to come here. It's just a salty Yankee fan. But Stern's coming here, and I didn't mind wholesale changes, but to have no backup plan. And I'll give Cashman credit. When they lost Soto, he pivoted immediately.
Yeah.
This guy, what was his plan? To wait for a team to not give Tucker 10 years and for his market to crater? It's an absolute joke. And then the number two guy.
Well, they made a compelling offer. They did.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah, but John's right that the backup plan was never Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker, in a weird way, fell in their lap because there wasn't a huge market for long-term deals. They were never going to play in the Kyle Tucker market until recently when there clearly wasn't a robust market for him to get a long-term deal.
A long-term market for him. So the backup plan should be Cody Bellinger, but it won't be because they don't want to go long-term.
Yeah.
And it probably will be a pitcher, right?
No, it's going to be Lars Nootbaar and,
Yeah, but
one of these other small market guys.
But hold on, John. If you're willing to go 60,
it's going to be. By the way, no offense to Lars Nootbaar, his name makes him the perfect guy to use as the backup plan.
100%. Especially if he signs you. We got Lars Nootbaar.
Good little ball player, Lars Nootbaar, but no.
If you're willing to spend 60 on Kyle Tucker, shouldn't you take some of that and do something else? Whether it's I'm trying to think who it would be.
I'm going to tell you my pivot plan in 10 minutes, bro.
Right, because he talked about the Yankees pivot. The Yankees pivot it wasn't let's go find another position player.
Well,
they went and got Max Fried.
No, it was because they did add Cody Bellinger. They did add Paul Goldschmidt.
Right, but
the
Bellinger thing was simple because it was cheap.
But here's the other difference. Here's the very big difference between the Yankee pivot and the Met pivot. The Yankee pivot was early enough in the offseason because Soto signed in December.
Yeah.
And also, Brian Cashman has a willingness to go long-term on contracts.
Right.
David Stearns has not shown a willingness outside of Soto and Yamamoto. I've said this before, to go long-term on contracts. So just to counter your point of, hey, the good news is, Met fans, they were willing to spend $60 million. You're right. But do you think all of a sudden they're just going to hand out contracts they don't want to give out because they have the money to spend? That's not happening. By the way, and if it did,
not long-term. Who's the top pitcher available right now?
Framber Valdez.
Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
What's he asking for?
Do we
even know, by the way?
I think no, we don't know for sure, but I think based on the market, he's probably asking for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And the Mets, there's no way the Mets are giving him.
No, especially because he's 32.
Yeah.
And he's got a qualifying offer attached to him. So
they're not giving it to him.
No, you're right. So what's the pivot then?
You keep asking me. I told you 11 o'clock. You're so excited.
I'm anxious for this, man.
I understand. I wrote it all
You are
out.
the resident Met expert, even though I'm becoming the more savant over here.
Actually, you want to prove that?
Go ahead.
Because since Kyle Tucker signed, we always unveil our predictions of MLB free agent bingo
This
that we
is correct.
did back in November. So for those that are you not aware, maybe you're a new listener because of our time slot, we like to do predictions but then hold ourselves accountable on them. We don't just make predictions and have them go away. So back in November, we did free agent bingo. We went through all the top free agents, and Sean, Tommy, Tiki, and I picked where they would end up, and we're keeping score. You get 2 points if they go to a new team, 1 point if they re-signed, and 0 if you got it wrong. Well, since Kyle Tucker signed, do you guys want to check in on the results of MLB free agent bingo?
The current standings right now is I am in first, tied with Evan with 2 points. Sean is in second.
Sean has 0 points.
No, Tommy's in second with 1 point.
Yep.
And Sean is pulling up the rear.
That is correct. So let's check in on
he pulls up his pants when his butt's hanging out.
No doubt, dude. Big drawstring spot today.
Let's go to the prediction desk with Sean Morash. Who are we starting with?
I think we should go furthest from the pin to closest to the pin. So we'll start with me. It's typical with this. All right. I think he's going to be a San Diego Padre.
Wow. They were not even rumored.
Yeah, I did have my preface was after they trade Tatis. That hasn't happened either.
All right. So Sean took another L.
All right. Let's go to Evan.
I think Kyle Tucker's going to end up with the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, and by the way, my thinking on that was I thought they were losing Kyle Schwarber, and I thought that Tucker was essentially going to be their replacement, and the Phillies have a dreadful outfield. So it made sense on paper.
Right. Now, you just mix it up with Bo Bichette.
Maybe I did.
All right, let's go to that crooked night.
Kyle Tucker will sign with the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's a good one. That was a good one, and he was close, but he got it wrong.
All right, and last but not least, the closest to the pin is the baseball savant, Tiki Barber.
Los Angeles Dodgers. Thank you very much. That's 2 more points, brothers. That's 2 more points. If there's any doubt, you know where I'm defaulting.
Yeah.
The Dodgers.
No, you're right. He did say Juan Soto would end up with the Dodgers last year, too.
That's true.
So your default is always the Dodgers.
Well, because if there's any question, it's going to be the Dodgers.
Well, believe it or not, we still have a few more free agents left, and the current standings in MLB free agent bingo is Tiki Barber 4, Evan Roberts 2, Tommy Lugauer 1, Sean Morash 0.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Obviously, a lot of talk on Kyle Tucker this morning, but late last night, no Jalen Brunson. Big problem for the Knicks, who fell for the second straight night. This a 126-113 loss to the Warriors, despite a 20-point, 20-rebound night from Karl Anthony Towns. The Knicks are now just 3 games up in that old loss column from the first spot in that play-in tournament. Meanwhile, the Islanders went into Edmonton and shut out the Oilers 1-0 last night on an Anthony Duclair goal.
Yeah, I went to sleep early and didn't get the Tucker news because I really wanted to wake up early and watch the Knicks on DVR, and I never got to do it because of the Kyle Tucker news. So I'm not going to offer you any insight on last night's game, but here's what I will offer you. They have a 3-game homestand coming up, and the New York Knicks need a homestand more than any other team.
Right.
They've been a much better home team. Now, Phoenix is young and emerging, so that will not be easy on Saturday, but they play the Dallas Mavericks on MLK Day, and then they play my team on Wednesday. So this is a get-right spot for this team who, for whatever reason, and this has been a month now, have played awful, lifeless basketball since they won the NBA Cup. Is that connected? I'm not sure, but they have just been a different team for a month now.
You think it was too much effort?
I don't know.
Championship hangover.
I don't know.
Could be.
I do not know the answer. I'm just giving you the facts.
They should have hung the banner. They could look up and remind themselves.
That's right.
Instead, they've forgotten themselves.
Last night also kind of tough to lose. I know, Evan, you said you were behind us. Steph Curry, second time this year, did not hit a single three-pointer in the first half.
Yeah, but he ended up hitting like 5 of them for the game, didn't he?
Jimmy Butler crushed him.
Yeah, and Moses Moody didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
No. I mean, come on. Don't give misleading information to a game very few people saw because it was
it's
late
not
at night.
misleading. It's rare that Steph Curry is that cold the first half.
I know, but you're ignoring the fact that Steph then showed up in the second half and made how many 4 or 5 threes?
Got to bury him in the first half of that game.
Okay, Sean. Jesus. Let's go to Sal in Brooklyn. What's up, Sal?
What's going on, boys? Nice, action-packed, real quick. Hey, this is all on Stearns, man. I don't care what you... not that I don't care. You know, it's just Brooklyn talk, but he got rid of Pete Alonso. The guy gives you 35, 120 every year, guaranteed. He had no plan B. He was sitting back thinking, we're going to give this guy an offer that nobody's going to want to come close to. We'll overpay for shorter years and not realizing that the Dodgers have that FU money and don't care. and then they went and scooped in and took the guy. So what are you going to do now? Go get Belly? That's going to give you 25 homers, 80 RBIs? Your plan B is nowhere right now, my brother.
It's not plan B, it's plan A because they didn't want him back. So I'll move it this way. Clearly the Mets didn't want Pete Alonso back, and they got what they wanted. He goes to Baltimore on a 5-year deal. What was the plan lineup-wise? Forget the pitching for a second. Forget the bullpen. I think they'll admit they screwed up the Diaz thing, but I'm going to put that aside. When it comes to this lineup, a lineup that, in my opinion, was not good enough last year.
It's going to be heavy on young guys.
But what was that so the plan A?
I think that's the fallback plan.
No. What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was plan A? Like, plan A for the Yankees was Juan Soto. Okay, they missed out. They go to plan B. The Mets' plan A never involved Pete Alonso. So what did it involve? They didn't go after Okamoto.
That's a good question. That's a very good question because it feels like there wasn't one.
It feels like we want to get rid of these guys. Yeah. We're going to get more athletic. We're going to get better defensively. And maybe David Stearns disagrees with all of us that they need a thumper in the middle of this lineup now that they lost Pete. And is like, yeah, no biggie. We got Polanco. It's fine.
Yeah.
We got Simeon. He'll bounce back. He's fine.
We're going to small ball our way to 95 wins. That's what it feels like. But it also feels like they're heavily dependent upon their farm system.
Let us have someone who I know wants to drink Met fans' tears. We want to be fair. We've heard a lot of Met fans today, but there's plenty of Yankee fans in the audience. So, John and Maspeth. John, go ahead. Do your thing.
What up, John?
How's it going, guys? First time, long time, big time Mets fan here. I just want to say that David Stearns is doing a great job. He's alienating the fans from their fan favorites like Alonso, McNeil, and Nimmo. And Lindor is doing a great job at being a captain by causing problems in the locker room and him and his wife and the whole political scheme and all that. And, I'm just giving a really good big thumbs up to the Mets offseason so far. And hopefully Cody Bellinger sticks the knife in the little heart a little bit deeper today or tomorrow. But we'll see about that. But I'm looking forward to another Mets collapse this year. And I don't got much else to say other than Citi Field is where high hopes go to. I don't know. I can't think of the word.
Die? Did you want to use the word die?
That's a brutal one from John.
Get off Lindor for being on the transition committee. It's all good.
It's his wife, by the way.
But it's also him.
No, you know what? It really isn't. And I have to defend this. I have a wife. You have a wife.
Yes.
We don't agree on everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
I don't want to, and my wife certainly doesn't want to be held to my opinions.
You guys fight over politics?
No, but my point is, just because my wife or your wife or her husband has political views doesn't mean that the
spouse?
The spouse does the same thing.
True.
I don't know Francisco Lindor's political opinions, and quite frankly, I couldn't give a rat's ass what his political opinions
You just want him to hit 280 and drive in 100 runs.
That's it. Now, Sean, as a major troll, how would you rate John and Maspeth's troll today of pretending he's a Met fan and just kind of mocking us that way?
Yes, for those that don't know, in the midday, that's John. He's a Yankee fan.
Yeah, I got him. I'm a big John and Maspeth supporter. That was John and Maspeth's worst call, and I would say in about a year.
Wow.
And I think he gets great on a curve.
Satire.
But not only that, you know where I got a problem with John and Maspeth?
Go ahead.
He's been complaining on Twitter all week to me that since we moved to these hours, it is harder for him to get through than it was in the afternoon, which, listen, I can't control that.
Hey,
I'm a one-man band back here.
That's a good thing.
Good thing. By the way, it is a good thing. But here's the thing.
For us.
If you're going to complain and you've been chomping on the bit, that's all you give us today?
Chomping at the bit.
Well, I will give you the floor now, Sean, since it's Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash. Would you like to troll us? I give you every right. We had a fun time with you guys a year ago over Juan Soto. If you would like to troll us for what happened with Kyle Tucker and what's happened this offseason, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
I will pass the troll and hold that immunity idle until Cody Bellinger signs somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
By the way, shouldn't it be chomping on the bit? Because isn't it a horse? Isn't that what the horse chews on?
A bit?
Yeah, isn't that the thing in the horse's mouth?
I thought it was hay.
No, that's what they eat. Isn't the bit the part that holds the harness and the horse's? I got to now look this up.
I always love when Tiki asks us.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're better off looking it up, bro. Go down the rabbit hole, and then you tell us the deal.
You're like me getting like a master's degree, Tiki. I just learn everything from you after the fact.
Speaking of Cody Bellinger, I am going to present to you my Mets pivot plan, and this may shock you. It does not involve Cody Bellinger. So don't worry, Sean. You're cleared.
All right, Tiki, you got a piece of that tease there.
Yeah, chomping at the bit is the original phrase coming from horse riding or a relentless horse. might repeatedly bite and grind its teeth on the metal bit of the bridle. That's right. Shouldn't it be chomping on the bit?
So change
You're
it.
right.
Change it. You're chomping on the bit.
If you start saying it enough, people will follow you. Tiki
Sometimes
Barber.
you say stuff and you just think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't make any damn sense.
I give you an example. Dave Sims does this, and many others do. They refuse to call it the foul pole, and they call it the fair pole. Now, it is the foul pole, but because if it gets hit, it's a fair ball, Dave Sims, amongst many others in baseball, protested by saying it's the fair pole.
That's right. Because if it hits it, it's fair.
Right, but it is technically called the foul pole.
It's called the foul pole because you're a chicken if you hit it. Come on.
What?
It's foul. Jesus. All right. We'll give you the Met Pivot Plan and more of your phone calls coming up. 888-808-1019.
I was chomping at the bit to give them.
I was always on the go, and I can't wait to get away from Sean for the weekend with his dad jokes. But I juggle so much. But the most important thing for me is keeping my family safe, especially when I'm not with them. That's why I turn to our partners at Sloman's, who recently installed the Sloman's Shield Link system into my home. And I got to tell you, this thing is a game changer, not only for convenience and safety and peace of mind, but I can control everything from my phone. One of the best things about it is if I miss something, if someone drops a package off at my house or someone comes and needs to deliver something, I know that I can instantaneously see them on my phone with all the cameras that are lined up. And even if I miss them, I can go back and rewind, just like on the Odyssey app you can rewind. I can rewind on my cameras. I can also play music just when I walk in the door. It has been fantastic making us feel safe. Experience the future of home security and automation with the Sloman Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit slomans.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Los Angeles Dodgers will win their third straight World Series coming up later this year. Signing Kyle Tucker last night, blowing everybody out of the water. $60 million a year, $10 million more than the Mets were offering. And now Tucker joins Ohtani and joins Freeman and joins Betts and joins a star-studded pitching staff and the closer, Edwin Diaz, that they got. Dodgers, best team in baseball. They'll win it all again. I'm Nick Costos.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-823-5544. That's 800-823-5544. 800-823-5544.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Road Show.
August 26th at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater with special guest Carter Fade. Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. On sale now at LiveNation.com, part of the Cadillac Tri-State Concert Series.
When fighting lymphoma, leukemia, or myeloma, the right care team makes a difference. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, Chief of Stem Cell Transplantation and Cellular Therapy at Hackensack University Medical Center's John Thurg Cancer Center. As the state's largest and most experienced CAR T-cell program, we pioneer life-saving options that empower your immune system to fight cancer. For personalized care in Hackensack or Neptune, call 833-CANCER-MD.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan truck or SUV and feel unstoppable. Whether you want to take your next level of adventure in the Frontier Dark Armor, the Pathfinder, the Armada, or the Rogue, you'll be ready for what comes your way. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 2/2/26.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And my show is not a job, it's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
We'll get into John Harbaugh, which is still not official yet, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. Maybe official by the end of the day, and start to look ahead to the staff that he should build. We'll get to that coming up, as well as previewing Divisional Weekend here on this Football Friday. But yes, late last night the news came down. Kyle Tucker signing with the LA Dodgers, leaving the Mets with another pivot plan. And so I thought about it this morning. I racked my brain because there's nothing obvious. There's nothing that's like a no-brainer.
No.
I will start by telling you why Cody Bellinger is just not a realistic option. I believe the reporting that's been out there about Bellinger, that the Yankees have offered him 5 years, $160 million in that range, and that Cody is holding out for a 7th year. If the Mets were never engaging in a long-term deal for Kyle Tucker, who's better and younger, and they were never engaging in any kind of long-term deal for Pete Alonso, who's also better in my opinion, then why would anybody in their right mind think that the Mets would engage in what Scott Boras is asking for?
Desperation?
I don't think the Mets are going to play this desperately. I don't. And nor would it be smart.
They'll rely on the young guys instead.
Yeah, and I also think that it would make David Stearns and Steve Cohen look really foolish if at the end of this offseason they start getting away from their principles, as much as I disagree with some of their principles. So do you think they would get desperate and do something that they don't want to do?
No, I can't see it. I see them, a lot of Luis Angel Acuna, Carson Benj. You're going to see all the young guys.
Yeah.
That if it comes down to not being able to sign anybody in free agency. And if their pivot is not a position player, it'll be pitching.
Well, it should be pitching anyway. Like, I think even if
it
they
should
sign,
also be pitching.
Yeah, I'm almost separating it because we know they need to address their starting pitching. They have not done that. And I don't think that pursuing Tucker or not changes that. I know there's $50 extra million, but I don't think that means they're just going to give Framber Valdez something they don't want to give him. So to me, the only way they can really engage with Cody Bellinger is by making him a Tucker-like offer. Right. By going to Scott Boras and saying, look, we're not going to 5 years, which the Yankees have already gone to. We're not going to 7 years. We'll give you 2 years, and we'll pay you an absurd amount of money. And then the question is, do you want to do that? Like, Cody's a good ball player, but do you want to give Cody Bellinger $45 million a year? I mean, that's really what we're talking about if you're going to convince Bellinger and Boras to forego what the Yankees are offering.
Meaning a short-term deal. Instead.
Yeah. And I've heard the Yankees have basically offered that their 5-year deal includes opt-outs. Yeah. So they're basically giving them that. The only thing the Mets could offer is a much higher AAV on the short term.
They haven't been that into it. But given that Tucker is now gone and there is no other option, what else would you do?
Well, here's my other option.
Let's hear it.
And I want to admit a couple of things before I tell you. I have never liked this guy for the Mets all offseason. So why am I coming here on January 16th naming someone I have not been drawn in by? Circumstances change, Tiki.
Of course.
But to show you that I like the player, I have brought this player up a lot with the New York Yankees. And the player the Mets should target aggressively is Bo Bichette. And the way they should do it is on the Kyle Tucker-like deal. And the reason I have more confidence in Bo Bichette being interested than Cody Bellinger is Bo Bichette is 27. He's about to turn 28. He's coming off a really good year with Toronto, but he did miss time at the end of the year. And then the year before that, he was an unplayable mess.
Right.
So his value is good, but it could be gooder. I know that's not a word.
Yes.
So my selling point to Bo Bichette is we're going to give you a 3-year deal with an opt-out after year 2. We're going to pay you $45 million a year, which is an absurd amount of money.
Of course it is.
And you have a chance to re-enter free agency at age 30, which is still younger than what Cody Bellinger is. You get to do it also in a free agent class that is devoid of talent, which I've pointed out to you. The free agent classes in position player worlds over the next few years is not very good. So I feel like I have a better chance of selling that to Bichette because of his age, because of his value right now. And so I would blow him away with a huge AAV short-term deal. Now, the natural follow-up is, and it's the reason I was never drawn in by Bo Bichette, is where are you playing?
Yeah, because he's an infielder.
He is. So, couple of options here. And it's not ideal, Tiki, so don't call me out. Like, I know. He's either my third baseman with Brett Beatty playing first base or Brett Beatty playing left field, or I say to Bo Bichette, go play left field. You're a hell of an athlete. It's not ideal when it comes to defense.
Yeah, what happened to run prevention?
I know. You already got a non-first baseman playing first base in Polanco. I mean, whatever you want to say about Juan Soto, he's not an elite outfielder. Now you're going to throw a non-outfielder out there with a rookie?
What's good for run prevention if you can't score runs, Teague?
Winning 1-0.
Well, that's tough to do, Sean. I admit I'm giving something up.
Like, I don't know.
And if you're that concerned about the defense, I'll give you this.
I'm not, but I'm just listening to what David Stern said.
Okay, if he's that concerned about the defense, then I'll make it easier for you. Bichette plays third base, and Brett Beatty's your DH/first baseman with Jorge Polanco. You're already playing a guy out of position anyway, so it's the same kind of sequence.
Yeah, it just gets a little dicey and dangerous because the Yankees did this with Jazz for half the season.
But they're doing it anyway, T.
But at that point, wouldn't you just DH Bichette since Beatty's good defensively?
I think Bo Bichette has great potential at third base. So, and I also don't think it helps his value. And I have to appeal to him on a short-term deal. Remember, Bo Bichette isn't a below-average defensive shortstop. I'm not asking him to play shortstop. And we've seen guys move to third base or even move to the outfield and do it at a high level. And honestly, I think that will benefit Bo Bichette in the long term because if he shows he can play left field or he shows he can play third base, I think that enhances his value. Plus, he's a great athlete. Right. And I get it. And that's why I said to you, you're going to call me out because it's not perfect. Yeah, what's not perfect is the defense. I totally agree. But I'm also telling you that they need a bat. And think about what he can do. He hits for high average.
Yeah.
He's a right-hand hitter. He's got a little bit of pop. He's not Alonso pop, but he can hit 20 to 25 home runs. He's proven he can do it in the big moment. I think that's the kind of signing that, A, benefits the player because it recirculates him into free agency in a couple of years. And I think he adds the kind of bat they need. So that's my plan B. And it's not the greatest plan, but what I would challenge you, Sean, and you, Tiki, is tell me one that's better.
I honestly, 1-year deal, Eugenio Suarez.
You just told me you were concerned about defense. He's worse than everybody.
But on a 1-year deal, I could DH him, and he gives me the pop back that I'm missing a little bit with Pete.
But you don't think Bo Bichette, even though Suarez hits for much more power, you don't think Bichette kind of provides the greater all-around potential?
I think absolutely Bichette gives you greater all-around potential. But you're talking about short-term deals, what you're looking for. The real thing you're looking to replace is the pop in the middle of the order you're missing with Pete.
And Suarez does do that, yes.
And that is what I'm looking to replace there. I know you're getting the better player with Bichette, but if I'm only committing to 1 year, I'm not necessarily worried about defense because I could probably DH him and he'd be fine with that. Go hit a bunch of home runs, and that's the closest replication we're going to get to replacing Pete's offense next year.
I don't. And a 1-year deal. But are you going for it? Type of like it's not. You're not a team that's going for it. But put in quotes, going for it.
I mean, why not?
So why would you do a 1-year deal?
No, they are going for it. As much as you don't think they're good enough to, they are trying to. They're good. That move would be a try to win that. Why they signed Polanco to a 2-year, $40 million deal?
Clear salary.
No, they signed him. They didn't trade for him.
This is still a lineup with Lindor and Soto. You're hoping you get more out of Alvarez.
They're trying to win.
They're trying to win.
They're not as good as the Dodgers, Teague, and no one's going to waste your time arguing that.
They think their pitching's better than last year?
No, but I think moves like that make it closer. I think moves like that cut the gap or at least give you a fighting chance. I am not, Sean, just for the record, I don't hate Eugenio Suarez, and I see the value in him. I'm just arguing my idea is better. My idea, not better like I'm smarter. My idea offers a greater return. And here's the other thing about Brett Beatty, who I have great respect for now. Brett Beatty was asked to learn second base last year.
Yeah.
How'd he do? I thought he did great.
He was all right.
I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he was better than all right.
There was no issue.
There was no issue.
There was no issue.
So if this guy's already shown you he can learn second base, and he played a little bit of the outfield a few years ago, why can't he play left field? Why can't he play first base? You want versatility? Teach versatility. You're teaching Polanco to play first base as it is.
Right.
So what's crazy about asking someone who's younger and more athletic to do the same thing?
Because you made the ideal run prevention.
Yeah.
And you don't know that that's going to happen.
Who's their first baseman, Teague?
Polanco.
Okay, and what experience does he have at first base?
None.
So my point is they're already doing it.
I know, but...
So then what are we arguing?
You want to do it in multiple spots.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you the lesson from Yankee land here, okay? Speaking from this. Versatility is really good until you realize you start pointing out, and then suddenly you look up and you have 3 or 4 guys where they're not playing their best position defensively just to make things work. And the more you do that, it sounds great that a team's versatile, the far worse you are defensively.
You may be right, but here's the other aspect that I want to include in this that I don't think you're thinking about. Temporarily, I could have guys out of position. If my young players produce, that could solve the issue. If Carson Bench...
think about all the ifs that we're talking
No,
about.
but I'm adding certainty to the ifs. Right now, all the ifs are on its own. I'm adding veteran players to at least balance out the ifs. If the ifs work... Now I can be better defensively because maybe I am asking Brett Beatty to play DH a lot more than play left field.
I hear you, but I can also hear what happens in the regular season once, I don't know who it would be. Let's say
Brett Beatty misjudges a fly ball in left field.
Let's say Luis Angel Acuna.
Yeah.
And he plays for 2 weeks pretty consistently, and all of a sudden he has a little bit of a slump. Now he's sitting down, and you got some veteran that's out there, and it's like, why aren't we playing Luis Angel Acuna?
Right.
It becomes a debate. And if you're going to do that over multiple positions, it's going to be a frustrating, second-guessing, all season long situation for Met fans.
Well, one thing you could do then if you're concerned about multiple positions being out of position, under my plan of signing Bo Bichette, and I don't consider him playing third base that out of position. He's an infielder. I think he'll be fine. Is to tell Brett Beatty and Jorge Polanco, you are both the first basemen. And it's almost like a defensive competition between 2 guys who haven't played the position, and then the other guy DHs. So you still remain with one position that features a question, but you already have that to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you try to upgrade your outfield by either trading Mark Vientos for an outfielder or signing a simpleton like Austin Hayes. My point is this. You can throw holes in any pivot plan because no pivot plan is as good as what we originally wanted. What I'll ask you is, what should they do? It's easy to poke holes, Teak. Tell me what they should do.
I don't have an answer for you.
Well, then don't kill my ideas.
I'm not killing your idea. I'm just like making you make them better. I don't, because there isn't an ideal that works right now. A good idea that works for the Mets. They tried. They really tried with Kyle Tucker. And you're right. You shouldn't be mad at them for missing out on him because they tried.
I'm mad that they had to rely on it. That's a big difference. I'm not mad at missing out on Kyle Tucker. I'm mad on the fact that they are in a position where we're sitting here on January 16th talking about Bo Bichette being the third baseman and moving guys all over the diamond because that's the kind of offseason they've had.
Yeah.
Let's get back to your calls, 888-808-1019, the number. Anthony in Middletown, New Jersey. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, what's up, guys? My point with Stearns is this, okay? I have no problem with him getting rid of Pete and Nimmo, but what I would ask him is, why is this deal presented in January and not November when you deal Nimmo? This deal should have been presented to Tucker, if that's his guy, in November. An hour after Brandon Nimmo's dealt. Why are we waiting? Stearns needs to dictate the market and not react to the market. Is my point. And I don't know why. I don't know why he's doing.
Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Anthony. It's mainly because Kyle Tucker wanted a long-term deal.
Yeah. He had to
the
wait.
Mets were not doing that.
He had to wait for when Tucker had to realize, okay, I'm going to take a short-term deal.
Right.
Like, if the Mets offered this to Tucker in December, it wouldn't have made a difference. He was not accepting a short-term deal in the middle of December. You needed the market to play out its way where Kyle Tucker only had one long-term offer, and he opted against that long-term offer for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that was the Toronto Blue Jays, which we don't know the exact offer, but it was probably 10 years, $350.
I would feel very confident. Like, I know Met fans are debating, did he ever want to come here? Were we being used? I feel pretty confident the Toronto Blue Jays were freaking used. If you're a Blue Jay fan right now up in Toronto, I think you feel that way, and you say there was no way he was ever coming here. You made a long-term offer.
That's what he asked for.
And he said, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who turns that down? Calvin's in Washington Heights. Hey, Calvin.
Hey, Evan, how you doing? And Tiki, I don't know if you remember, I called a couple of weeks ago with a good idea with Tatis, and you love my idea. I actually like your idea, but I want to respond to it.
Yeah.
So your idea with Bo Bichette, I'm actually listening to you. I agree with that. I will do a signing of 3-year deal, short term, since he's 27.
Yep.
Let's say 41 per year, 123 million, and you could take it with an option. 123 sounds awesome, and he can play third. He adjusted in the World Series, his first time ever playing second base.
That's
I don't
right.
think that people recall that.
That's a good point. I forgot about it already.
and another good point that I want to say, just to conclude, to say my points across with time. I love still the idea of the Mets trading for Tatis. I'm still with it, and I believe that Juan Soto is behind it. That can push it. These guys are in the offseason still hanging out together. You see them in these different events that they are participating in, and they're both going to even be teammates in the WBC in the next couple of weeks. So, honestly, I think that a trade like that, the Mets need to do. And signing Bo Bichette, playing him at third, I'm with. And with your co-host, I forgot his name. I think his name is Sean. With Suarez, I understand what he's saying. I will use Brett Baby in as a trade asset because you still need an ace in this team. So if you want to use Brett Baby as a trade offering like to Milwaukee and try to get Peralta and sign and get into an extension as soon as you trade him,
that's
then
not
that
bad.
makes sense. Suarez as for power, I agree with what you're with Sean is saying.
But it goes back to Tiki's point about run prevention. Suarez is not good defensively.
Yeah.
So you are downgrading yourself defensively. And the hesitation I have on trading for Freddie Peralta is if you're going to trade for Freddie Peralta, you better be committed to signing him. And I have no indication that the Mets would be. While he's close to being an ace, he's going to be 30. Are they giving him a 7-year contract?
And he's going to want, after waiting 7 years, he's going to want a long-term contract.
As he should, and he will get it. Is there any indication that David Stearns would give him a long-term contract?
No.
So then how could I trade in a year in which I'm clearly not the best team in baseball? How could I trade a valuable piece under team control?
You can't now. Freddie Peralta is a mid-season acquisition if the Mets are great or trending towards there and they're a piece away, whatever the circumstance.
Or you're committed to signing him.
Yes.
And I'm wrong. And that's the exception that David Stearns would make. Then fine, go trade for him. Then I'd be less against it. But I have no indication that would be the case. Jim is in Tennessee. What's up, Jim?
Hey, fellas. Evan, Tiki, how's it going, guys?
All's good.
What's up?
Hey, I think the whole run prevention, now, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm on the Sean bandwagon, but I'm not a Met hater. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to you guys every day. I think the whole run prevention's a smokescreen.
Yeah.
Now, Jim Bowden and Ken Rosenthal, I was looking for a Rico last night. Man, I was dying for a Rico, and I couldn't find you on there.
I did it this morning. I'm sorry. I passed out in my own drool.
So I had to turn on foul territory. Both those guys stated, and you take this for what it is, but in my mind, this is something serious. Jim Bowden and Ken Rosenthal both mentioned the toxicity in the Mets clubhouse. So, there's got to be something there,
Right.
and I'm
we can't keep ignoring it. Right. We can't ignore it. It may not have been as pervasive, but there was certainly something.
Okay.
I mean, because there's smoke.
Let me ask you this.
And it's not a raging fire, but something's like electrical wiring is short-circuiting or something.
Let me ask you this. Brandon Nimmo, forget. They traded him. They made a decision. They took on a shorter but more expensive contract than Marcus Semien. Clearly, they looked at Brandon Nimmo, whether it was the locker room or it was just that he was a depreciating asset. They wanted to trade him.
Yeah, he prevented Francisco Lindor from becoming the captain.
Sure. If Pete Alonso didn't get the 5-year offer from Baltimore, let's say they ended up signing Kyle Schwarber, which was their intention.
Yeah.
And the Phillies never had interest in Pete Alonso. And by the way, I don't think they would have based on Bryce Harper and all. Okay. And Pete Alonso didn't have a market again. And all of a sudden, the Mets come calling. Do you think the Mets would have signed Pete to a similar contract to what he signed last year? Or, to our last caller's point, and to the point you're kind of co-signing, was the locker room so toxic
I don't think
they
it was
would
Pete,
never
though.
have brought him back?
But I don't think it was Pete.
I agree with you.
It wasn't Pete. Pete was not the locker
So
room.
then
issue.
my big issue is Pete's not here and they're trying to replace his bat. What does that have to do then with the locker room?
So the first part of his call was why Pete's not here. They talked them. They didn't. I guess they feel like he's not a good defensive first baseman.
Clearly.
Right? And
Clearly,
so
they didn't want to give him a long-term deal.
They basically said at the end of the season, if you're coming back, you're going to be DHing.
Right, but I'm saying if he came back on a short-term deal, even where he was DHing, doesn't that show you that the locker room thing didn't involve him?
It didn't involve him.
So then what are we talking about, Brandon Nimmo?
I don't. You're talking about Nimmo, McNeil.
Okay.
You're talking about other people on this out of that core. And Pete was kind of collateral damage, mainly because to me, they didn't believe that he was as good of a first baseman as he thinks he is.
Clearly.
And so it was, I mean, I can't help but say this over and over again. I think they were pissed off at his agent. I think they were tired of dealing with his agent.
Yeah.
And they wanted nothing to do with another negotiation.
So
with his
that's
agent.
another reason why they're not going after Cody Bellinger, represented by the same man.
Yeah.
Scott Eugene Boras.
Right.
Brian.
Now, he's great for his clients, but he's not good for ownership.
Yeah,
or
but you got to
management.
learn how to deal with him because he represents everybody.
Of course.
Brian's in Monroe. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how are you guys?
What's up?
Good.
Hey, listen, on top of all the other frustration, first of all, it's a good day to be Cody Bellinger. But as if we don't have enough reasons to be frustrated as Met fans, now we have to deal with our own franchise trolling us. You have Jose Reyes posting that something big is coming.
Yeah.
And then you have Uncle Stevie with this post about looking for smoke. We're seeing that last night, getting our Tucker jerseys ordered, only to be in a worse spot today.
Yeah, you know what I'm confused by, Brian? So last night, and this is before I fell asleep, I see Steve Cohen's tweet, which if you're not aware of, was simply, let me know when you see smoke at 6:57. I saw it and knew what he meant. It was a Pope joke.
Yeah.
Immediately, Pete Hoffman calls me, Big Mac texts me, and they're like, yo, whoa, what does it mean? The Mets are getting Tucker.
Well, that's because he was confident that they were getting Tucker. Why?
I didn't sense that.
Because they guaranteed, they gave him a $75 million signing
You
bonus.
got that from the tweet?
No, I know this. I can discern this after the fact.
Okay.
I didn't know what the deal was.
Right.
I had no idea what the offer was from the Mets. But hearing the Dodgers offer and then hearing the Mets offer, Steve Cohen probably went, all right, we got a similar AAV. Maybe they got a couple more million. If you come back to us, we'll match it. But we'll give you $75 million up front.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have an AAV of 60 over the first two, opt-outs after 2 and 3, and then ultimately you 50 after that. To him, that felt like that's getting it done.
He may have thought that, and I have no idea what Steve Cohen thought. All I know is when I saw that tweet, I took it as a dumb, Morash-like dad joke. I didn't take it as he's teasing me. And I know a lot of Met fans responded to that. And then Cohen came on Twitter right after and said, for those that don't understand the Pope election reference, we are waiting for a decision. That's all I know.
Yeah, Cohen was wrong, though.
Well, hold on. I'll get to ripping Steve Cohen. Let me just get to, I did not take it the way most of you did. My issue with Steve Cohen, because I thought it was just a dumb joke, is, dude, I don't need your dumb jokes. That would be my response.
Right.
Not that I misinterpreted it, because I didn't, but, dude, you never tweet. You only tweet, A, apologizing to the fans after a bad year, after we didn't hear from you for 3 months, and then clarifying a tweet that was misinterpreted by many, including myself, about the spending of your team. We don't need a, let me know when you see smoke. Like that, save that for Sean. So my issue with Cohen isn't that he overpromised something, because I didn't take it as a promise. It's more, dude, there's nothing to joke about.
Yeah.
You know what smoke you're getting? The smoke from Met fans. Fair or not. You're getting the smoke from us. And you know when you're going to see the smoke? When there's a bunch of empty seats in April and May.
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be. Not from a schmuck like me. I'll be there with my scorebook. So will Tiki.
Right.
He'll come to some games.
With a tall boy.
That's right. But you're going to get the smoke from Met fans. So my issue is very different than our last caller and probably what you're going to say, Sean. It's not that you promised me something. It's that you're making dumb jokes.
Correct.
And no one wants to hear it.
But my issue was the second tweet. Most people understand the Pope reference joke there.
Big Mac didn't.
He didn't know about the puff of smoke thing?
Big Mac thought, he's like, where's the tweet? Hoffman's like, where's the tweet? What's it mean? I'm like, what the hell do you think it means? It's a stupid joke.
But the point of the joke, though, is Steve Cohen, I could easily interpret that as, Matt, you talk to him, you think the puff of smoke is coming, that he's going to pick the Mets. And then to clarify that, I think he missed it up. On the second tweet, he should just go away. Don't even say for those that didn't understand.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to recover from the first one. That makes it seem like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have hit send on it. Just, you're the owner of the Mets. Speak after you get or don't get him. Don't be teasing anybody. It's ridiculous. It's absurd to
I
act
didn't
like
take
this.
it as a tease. I took it as just a joke that I don't need right now.
Yeah,
Right.
it's joke tease. It's all one and the same at that
All
point.
right, so I guess we're agreeing with each other? I'm confused.
Yeah, I guess. I guess my issue was just how many people.
And it means we as a consumer are taking it more seriously than him as the owner.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could take it that way.
That's
though.
a problem.
Or he's just trying to find levity in a very stressful situation.
I think that's probably it.
Yes.
Because Cohen was involved in these negotiations, and he's not involved in all of them,
Well,
but
especially
he was involved
that
in
one.
this one.
If you're giving a guy $60 million over 2 years, you're involved.
Yeah. And did he think last night they were getting him? Maybe he did. Maybe based on the offer he did. But I think Steve's smart enough, the way you are and the way I am, to know if the Dodgers are lurking, we're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
We're going to lose.
Yes.
And speaking of the Dodgers
If
and
there's
Steve
any
Cohen,
doubt, and the Dodgers are anywhere in the conversation, you got to predict Dodgers.
Predict Dodgers. Speaking of Steve Cohen and the Dodgers, I want to play you a clip, and we'll do it when we come back, that bothers Met fans involving Steve Cohen, the Dodgers, and why this is a single white female situation. We really want to be them. We'll get to that coming up. Plus, Yankee fans, quit your smiling. Why yesterday's decision was a really bad decision and could impact the New York Yankees. Operating engineers, Local 825, are about the men and women who make our region move. Whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELAC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELAC representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Welcome to Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where excitement never stops. Unleash the fun with 2 floors of gaming action, featuring 1,000 cutting-edge video and electronic machines. Enjoy exceptional service at a prime location that places you right in the heart of Long Island's excitement. Stay and play in style with over 200 hotel rooms and treat yourself to a full range of dining options at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Your best year starts with a savings. Don't miss the January Jumpstart event at Nielsen Dodge.
That's right, Chels. We're ready to start your new year with low lease payments to get you driving. Lease a new 2026 Dodge Durango GT Plus all-wheel drive Hemi V8, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4, just $359 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
With 0 down payment and the credit help you deserve.
Come see all the great savings we've lined up so you can start your new year driving happy and hassle-free. Let the fun begin.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Sun is in the driver's seat.
Start something new sales event. With approval term Durango 36, Ram 42 months due at sign, Durango 55.99, Ram 59.54 at tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
History's masterpieces wouldn't be the same without their most notable accents. Neither would the Kia Sportage without its multiple drive modes. The Kia Sorento without its expansive 12.3-inch panoramic display. Or the Kia Telluride without its 3 rows of spacious seating. The Kia SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't. Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Just one drive at a Mercedes-Benz and you'll understand why it's a gift that keeps on giving. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration lives on at Mercedes-Benz of Edison with more opportunities to drive home luxury. Experience comfort and performance in a new GLC or GLE SUV equipped with 4MATIC all-wheel drive to handle whatever the road or the weather brings. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, there's still time to experience the love during the extended Holiday Love Celebration at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's Dunkin's world and you're living in it, which means breakfast is easy and costs $5 with Dunkin's $5 meal deal. You get 6 crispy hash browns, a wake-up wrap, and a medium hot or iced coffee. Whatever your mood calls for. Bring your friend, your brother, your mother, your cousin, or just bring yourself. Because at Dunkin', they make deals for everyone. Get Dunkin's $5 meal deal only at Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation in times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. When this happened, you talked about it on The Fan.
Odell Beckham Jr. made the catch with one hand for the touchdown. Wow, what a catch by the rookie.
Ridiculous. When New York sports happens, talk about it here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's the first. Coming back. Evan chilling, getting so upset, talking to Hoffman in the back. Just me and Sean here hanging out for the afternoon. Soon to be afternoon.
He's doing a Rico in the newsroom.
I know. You just did a Rico.
You know what I was doing?
What?
I was arguing about the mess outside in the newsroom.
So, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
Evan did not do his Rico last night. This morning at, 8:30.
7:30.
7:30, he comes in and he does his Rico. He was still doing it when I got here.
Well, I was here at 6:30, but we didn't have the availability to do the Rico
when
until 7:30.
When I got here at 8:30, he was doing his Rico.
Yes.
So he did the Rico today. So we start the show at 10 o'clock. We're obviously talking about Kyle Tucker.
We are.
Essentially, we're doing a Rico.
Yes.
And then in the breaks, what Evan does is go outside, and whoever's out there, right now it's Hoff, and about, in 40 minutes, it's going to be Big Mac as well.
Right.
He's going to do a Rico. This is an all Rico day for you. Hey, all Rico
breaks.
Friday.
We take breaks, Tiki. Evan doesn't take breaks.
No, he does not.
He continues the shows out in the
Do you
newsroom.
think I started the conversation in the newsroom? Do you think I went up to Pete Hoffman or Anthony Gallo, who do a great job behind the scenes, and said, hey, guys, let's talk more Mets? The conversation naturally started. And by the way, it's been a lot of Mets. We will get to the football coming up, but not only that, we'll get to why yesterday's decision negatively impacts the Yankees in a few seconds. But I also need to play you some audio from Steve Cohen from the day he took over as Mets owner. Because I think this is interesting to listen to. We've got 6 years now, or 5.5 years, of data to refer to. Here is Jeff Passan asked the question, Steve Cohen's answer about the Mets and, yes, the LA Dodgers.
Is there a model out there in baseball or maybe in another sport that you say, hey, this team does things really well?
Well, I think I like what the Dodgers are doing. Okay, I mean, they have a really strong farm system. They take advantage of opportunities in the marketplace for free agents and trades. I think they run a pretty good business operation too. So, I think that's one team that easily seems to make the mark in the type of places that I want to do the same.
He wants to do the same. Now, where I will give Steve Cohen credit because the Mets have a very highly regarded farm system. That's not just me talking or you talking.
No, it's just the reality. We can name 6 of them right now.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of top 100 prospects. So even if we haven't seen the results of it yet, the Mets have rebuilt their infrastructure. And so Steve Cohen, great job. In that regard, you're approaching Dodger territory.
Right.
But when it comes to everything else, whether it's being opportunistic in free agency, yes, you succeeded with Soto, but there's been a lot of fails.
They were early with the Verlander and Scherzer. That was opportunistic.
They also missed out on Yamamoto and missed out on Bauer. Not that was a bad thing.
That's recently because those early failures, I think it pushed him away from wanting to spend money.
No, that's not true. He just tried to spend money on Tucker. He didn't get him because the Dodgers are more appealing. And the trade market's been, I don't want to say non-existent, but in terms of impact trades, it is non-existent.
Right.
Like, we're going to talk about Tyrone Taylor and Adrian Hauser, or even the Brandon Nimmo, Marcus Semien trade. So what he's wanted the Mets to become, he is still a long ways away from getting to. The farm system feels like it's on its way.
Yeah.
But becoming the Dodgers and all those other aspects, Tiki, and you laid it out at the top of the show, they're not even close.
No, they're not, and they're never going to be close because he's worth a lot. The Dodgers are worth a lot more.
Yes.
This is truly rounding errors when you talk about the money that Guggenheim Partners has under management. Now, not all that is available to them, but it's collateral in a non-elegant way to put it. The other thing, and we read a lot about this over the last couple of days, is the TV deal, right, that the Dodgers have. And the fact that they basically own every bit of broadcast rights. Steve Cohen doesn't even own SNY.
Right.
So that side of it, he's not even close to competing.
They have so much more revenue than everybody else.
Yes.
And that, by the way,
Dodgers do.
Yeah, the Dodgers. And that includes the Yankees. And remember, the Dodgers had ownership shambles not that long ago with the McCourt family divorce.
Yes.
And I guess that TV deal where they get all of it was negotiated because of the fallout from the McCourt family divorce.
Right.
So the Dodgers, yes, have a lot of benefits that no one else has.
Right. Was Guggenheim the first private equity in Major League Baseball?
This is another example of Tiki asking a question that we have no shot of answering.
Now I got to look it up.
My shoulders raised to the side of my head, and I go, I have no idea.
Like, if you want to ask me about the Dodgers farm system, I got you.
Right.
Or who won the World Series or the Super Bowl 40 years ago? Dude, I'm your man.
Yeah, like, I don't know who owns the Diamondbacks.
Or who the president was right before Lincoln. Like, I got you. Or a presidential speech or a reference or a state capitol. I'm your guy. But when you ask me questions like that, I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? Now, while Tiki looks that up, Sean, tell me if I'm wrong here, because I'm being IBO. The decision yesterday negatively affects the Yankees for this reason. While I don't believe the Mets are going to be a factor for Cody Bellinger, they could be. I could be wrong. And they could try a short-term high AAV deal. I think the Blue Jays will. I think the Blue Jays are a major threat. Like, if they were willing to go 9 years for Kyle Tucker, is it unimaginable that Toronto would be a major player to give Scott Boras what he wants and poach Cody Bellinger away from the Yankees? That's why Tucker to Toronto, I think, would have been the safest thing for the Yankees, oddly enough, because even though the Blue Jays would have gotten better, your chances of retaining Bellinger would have been even higher than they are today. Am I reading that wrong?
The only pushback I would give you is I am very skeptical that Bellinger won't feel the same way as Kyle Tucker and free agents in years before. In which, is he really going to Toronto for 7 years? Wants to go live in Canada for 7 years. Seemed like he loved being a Yankee, which I think is truly the holdup. Like, I think he wants his cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
I was going to say bread and eat it too, but you know what I mean.
I tend to agree that he would prefer to be here. So I'm not arguing that. I just wonder if Toronto went to such a place and the Yankees are firm if that would be enough for him to kind of like supersede his wishes.
If the Yankees are meeting the money and they're getting to 5 years, but they're just not going to 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you tell me this guy is going to go 2 more years to go live in Toronto half the year? Again, like, I know we don't actually know, but I'm not worried yet. I didn't take the Kyle. As a matter of fact, I took the Kyle Tucker news as, well, the Dodgers can only play 9 guys on the field, so it doesn't really matter. And he's not in our division. So I took it as a win.
That shows you how Sean's mindset has changed. A year ago when the Dodgers would add a player, he would get mad and say, that's our biggest threat. And I would always remind him they're in a different league. Don't worry about it. And he would say, but we have to beat them in the World Series. Sean is either evolved enough in which he's listened to me, or he's so negative about the Yankees that he no longer views the Dodgers as relevant to the New York Yankees. So which one is it?
Yeah, I think it's a combination, first of all. And when we get to the World Series, if we're lucky enough to do that and play the Dodgers, if it wasn't Kyle Tucker taking up one of those 9 spots, it would surely be somebody at the trade deadline nearly as good taking up one of those 9 spots. I've realized they're playing the Monstars in the World Series no matter what.
Yeah. So it was basically Guggenheim, but it was convoluted because it wasn't officially approved until 2019. But they've been involved since 2012 with the Magic Johnson. So it was just the people in Guggenheim doing it, not private equity doing it.
And these are the same people with the museum?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
They have $350 billion under management in their portfolio. The museum is about $150 million.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, we need a Steinbrenner museum.
Wait a minute. The museum is that much. Don't you just pay a donation when you enter the museum? How are they profiting like that?
Well, that's art.
What does that mean?
Art has value. I got to send you this podcast about who is it?
He's not going to listen. He's not going to listen.
It was revisionist history.
Okay.
Malcolm Gladwell talking about how art gets its and holds its value. So it's based on absolutely nothing.
So just by the art sitting in there, that's the value of the museum.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Like the Met, right up here.
Yeah. Not the Mets.
There are hundreds of millions of dollars of art that no one will ever see.
Whenever I hear the Met, I think of Joey Tribbiani from the Friends episode where he thought he was going to a Mets game, and really she just took him to the Met. And he was very disappointed. What? I thought I was watching a baseball game.
You'll enjoy it because it's an interesting analogy about dragons. You know how dragons, they liken museums to dragons. So they hold all the gold, but you never see it.
I thought you were going to say like they were really relevant and then they went extinct.
No. No, museums are always going to be relevant.
This is a moment where Tiki realizes he's so much smarter than both of us.
By the way, Tiki, that's a post-Super Bowl podcast for me. I got to get through the football playoffs here.
And speaking of football, we'll get to it coming up. Our thoughts on this weekend's games, including a major injury possibility that could blow up the entire NFC. Let's go to Jackson in Plainview. Hey, Jackson.
Hey, Evan. Hi, Tiki.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
I believe the last 3 years I've called to remind Evan of this same thing. I think it was the 2023 Super Bowl, and Evan's wonderful father-in-law, Abuelo, was watching the wrong Super Bowl of Chiefs Niners. So I just wanted to remind you, please invite your father-in-law to watch Seahawks Niners that he's not watching the game from 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And thank you for that reminder. I appreciate it every year. And
that's right, because they played a regular season game.
That is always the risk, and that's how it happened. NFL Network was re-airing a game from a few weeks earlier, and he thought it was live. So,
and you knew he was watching, and you didn't have the heart to tell him. That was the worst part.
I felt bad.
He knows English.
Yeah.
So is he not listening to the broadcast?
I think, I would say it was more of a background thing.
Yeah.
And not diehard enough to pick up on the difference.
He's not dialed in wondering why there's not any playoff imagery or playoff references or this is the divisional round.
You know what I would comp this to? Have you ever been in a situation, and this has not happened at Tiki because you're very famous, where someone doesn't know your name and they say it incorrectly, and enough time has gone by where you feel bad correcting them?
Correct. I have a cashier at a local store, still calls me Tommy Lugauer after it.
That would be the example. You don't have the heart to correct them on that.
because it's embarrassing for them. So you don't want to be the cause of their embarrassment.
And that was the same situation. Let's go to Nick in Connecticut. What's up, Nick?
Hey, I think the Mets should consider trading for Stephen Kwan. I think he's a better fielder than Nimmo was. He provides similar at-bats and around the base paths as well.
Yep.
I don't know who they'd consider trading for him, but my thought is look into including Lindor in that package. If they want to cut out the toxic parts of this clubhouse, just like cutting out a tumor, you don't just cut out half. And if he's in the center of all of it, get rid of him, start new.
But I don't think he is. Like, I hate to cut you off, but I don't think he is. Like, I think this toxic locker room thing, it gets repeated over and over again, so we take it as fact. I honestly believe the changes the Mets have made have been more about David Stearns evaluating the value of a Nimmo contract.
Yes.
How much he wants to give Pete Alonso.
It's
more
financial
than
based.
Yes, it's financial, and I think that player is going to go backwards more than anything else. Now, Stephen Kwan, I thought the beginning of your call is fair. Like, if the Guardians are moving him, he's a perfect fit. He's your leadoff hitter. And he plays Gold Glove defense. Mm-hmm. And he never strikes out. And let's go. I don't know if Cleveland's trading him. I've got no indication that they are. And then it comes back to, what's it going to take?
Right.
What's the price tag on a player like that?
Yeah, I mean, and he's good, but
he's completely overrated, Teak. Just say it. I'll say it for you.
Right. That was going to be my next.
Very overrated. He has a skill that no one has, so we love it, which is not striking out. It's amazing.
Right.
Outside of that, he doesn't hit for a lot of power.
Nope. His WRC plus is sub 100.
Dude, his OPS was 700 last year.
Right.
Like, he's not that good.
Right.
Tiki just dropped a WRC plus on me?
That's right, yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Weighted runs created.
How about you?
On a league average. 100 is average. He's 99. So he's less than 100.
You need to be all over this draft in fantasy this year.
The best part of Tiki is not only did he cite it, he defined it for you in 3 uncomplicated seconds.
Unbelievable.
Like, now you know. You can't listen and say, what does that mean?
Right. Now you know what WRC plus means.
I'm learning everything today.
With that said, despite him being overrated and flawed,
right.
I'd be interested in
Of
him.
course, because he's a good baseball player.
I just don't know how far I'd go.
Yeah.
Like, am I trading Jonah Tong in a trade for Stephen Kwan? I don't know.
No, I think Tong is probably going to end up being better, even though he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, but come on.
But he was a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
It is what it is.
Give it time. Travis in the Bronx. Hey, Travis.
Go ahead, Travis.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
All's well.
So, Evan, when you said trade signed Bichette, it instantly, sparked something. I think that's a good start. The Mets still have an opportunity to kind of salvage the offseason. I think it starts with trading for Skubal, but also probably more importantly is attaching Spencer Torkelson to the deal and moving out all of the secondary players that the Mets currently have, finding room for Polanco, finding room for Semien, and then signing Bo Bichette to prioritize where you want him to play. I think if the Mets kind of clear, their B players, possibly including, Vientos and Beatty and Benj, and really creating the team that you want, and kind of getting rid of the players that you're kind of on the fence with. If you bring in Skubal, and you look at Torkelson, who last year
he broke out last year.
Away.
Right. We could have got him for cheap. I think he was the backup plan if Pete left. Yeah,
could have got exactly. They could have got him for nothing because the Tigers essentially told him, the only reason why he broke out last year is because I forget who got injured, but he wasn't even supposed to be really on the team. And then there was an injury last minute in spring training, and he came up and he played, far better than they anticipated.
Right.
And, Torkelson, all things considered, he was the number one pick in the draft a couple years ago. He's got as much power as Alonso,
you know what he is, Travis? And it's a great idea, by the way. Very good idea. Thank you very much for the call. Spencer Torkelson is a younger, cheaper, but not as good version of Pete Alonso. I think that's a perfect way to define him.
Right.
He's younger, so there's always that hope he'll develop. But last year, he had 31 home runs. He finally broke out, but he strikes out 1 million times. He doesn't hit for a high average. But
no, he's only 26.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you do have that ability for him to grow. I'm not sure how interested Detroit is on moving off of him, though more so this year than last year because he had a breakout year. And to go back to Tarek Skubal, I don't know what the hell they're doing with him because they insulted him in arbitration with how far apart they are on the offers.
What did he wanted
32?
32. They offered 12?
19.
19?
It is the greatest difference in arbitration offers ever. So you wonder if you're insulting him in arbitration, are you really signing him to a long-term deal?
No.
Now, I have to ask you to be a judge, Tiki.
Let's go.
I cannot be fair. You can be fair. Do you remember a couple of months ago on I forget what day of the week it was. I think it was a Friday. I opened the show. We were going to talk about football.
It was a definite Friday.
It was like a football Friday. And I passingly made this comment during our open. A very busy show. At some point in the next 4.5 hours, you'll hear that Edwin Diaz has re-signed with the Mets.
Yes, I remember that vividly.
It was a throw.
Because you got crushed.
I got crushed. I have to wear an L permanently every time Diaz comes to Citi Field or the Mets face the Dodgers in general.
Right, and that's not just on our show. That's at the game.
Yeah. So I have a penalty.
If they let him take it in.
And that was literally the line. That was it. I didn't engage in it any further. That was it. And obviously it got thrown everywhere. We all agree that was bad. I'd like to know if what I'm about to play for you is worse. I have 2 clips from yesterday's Carton show. Here's clip number 1.
I believe the New York Mets have Kyle Tucker locked up.
Here's clip number 2.
Is there a model out there?
Well, that's not it. That's Steve Cohen again. Do you have Carton clip number 2? I already have Carton. I mean, number 1. All right, here's number 2.
Number 1 is bad enough.
Yeah.
I believe that Kyle Tucker will be a Met by 6 p.m. today.
Wow. Who committed a worse sports talk crime? Evan Roberts or Craig?
Unfortunately, Evan, it's still you.
What?
Yes. Because let's play that Craig one again, please.
I believe that Kyle Tucker will be a Met by 6 p.m. today.
There's an operative word in there.
Believe.
Son of a bitch. I believe the New York Mets have Kyle Tucker locked up.
We don't believe you anymore, Craig.
Yeah, but he said locked up. A very busy show. At some point in the next 4.5 hours, you'll hear that Edwin Diaz has re-signed with the Mets.
Definitive.
Damn it.
Sorry, Evan.
This is so true because legally Tiki's right, but we know what Craig meant, but he's got that loophole word, man.
Yeah. He's smart, man.
When you say I believe, you can be wrong, and people will forgive you.
Yeah. Damn it.
You said it as fact.
All right. So I guess.
Even though I knew what you meant.
You knew. Now, Craig still committed a sports talk crime. It's just not as bad as the one I committed.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, his was bad too.
7-line guy said to me that day, or after Edwin signed, this is your Licata NL East is over moment. I wonder if he feels this is Craig's Licata NL East is over moment.
I would just like to put Craig under truth serum, okay?
Yeah.
If he really meant to say that word believe, and that's going to be his defense, I would like to know, had Kyle Tucker signed with the Mets,
would he have claimed credit?
Would he have claimed credit?
Yeah.
And because we know Craig gets upset about credit.
Are you an idiot? Of course he would have claimed credit.
Yes. Then you can't claim believe.
Now, I am not including all the clips because I already know Craig's defense. He's already texted me because he knows I'm on the attack. And he said he got everything right because he also said it's going to be a 4-year offer, opt out after year 2, opt out after year 3. And the Mets will get him, quote, unless someone else does something stupid. So to him,
what's stupid about what the Dodgers did? Because they did exactly what the Mets did.
Yes, but that's the variable.
Am I wrong?
It depends on how you want to define stupid. Do you think what the Dodgers did was stupid?
No. I think it's exactly what the Mets did.
You're a hypocrite.
Why?
Yesterday, you questioned the Mets' approach to this. You said, why would they offer this guy $50 million? He's not worth $50 million. Now
He's not worth $50 million.
So then,
but it's what the market dictates. So it's just supply and demand. I am a capitalist. I get it. I understand it. What the market dictates is what you take and what you give. this is what the market, meaning the Mets and the Dodgers, not the Blue Jays, because they were much lower on the AAV, even though the length was different. This is what the market dictated. So is what the Dodgers did is not stupid because it's what the Mets were offering.
All right. I don't think it's stupid either. I tend to agree with you. I just want to say, all right, so I tried, but I guess I'm still the dumbest sports talk host here for the NFBS thing. What can I tell you?
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. I know we're going to dig deeper into this in a little bit, but Sam Darnold did pop up on the injury report on Thursday afternoon. He's now dealing with an oblique injury. Darnold did address the media saying there's a 0% chance he does not go out there and play in this divisional round game tomorrow. But as we know, this is a quarterback who has missed multiple games in his career with a high school and college kissing illness called mono. So anything is on the table. This Fan Focus was sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Who could forget that? We'll get back to your phone calls, and we will get into Divisional Weekend as well as how committed are Giant fans to John Harbaugh. We'll put it to the test next. 888-808-1019.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
People need to stop complaining about the way the Los Angeles Dodgers handle their business. What the Dodgers are doing is trying to win. And yes, they're spending more money than everybody else. They're also making more money than everybody else and paid a luxury tax that's more than 16 payrolls in Major League Baseball. They go out on Thursday night and sign Kyle Tucker to gear up to win a third straight World Series championship. And that's the point of all of this. I'm Nick Costos.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the costs of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Our plans start at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mostly sunny, windy, and cold. High 35.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the divisional round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Maybe you'll parlay each team's lead running back to score an anytime touchdown. Then apply your profit boosts and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep on rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/New York and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. We all love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issues now drawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
History's masterpieces wouldn't be the same without their most notable accents. Neither with the Kia Sportage without its multiple drive modes. The Kia Sorento without its expansive 12.3-inch panoramic display. Or the Kia Telluride without its 3 rows of spacious seating. The Kia SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
RU fans, it's basketball season. Make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights hardwood action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights basketball is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnerman, and Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnerman, and Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnerman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
It isn't official, but we all know John Harbaugh is taking the Giant job. It's been fascinating over the last 24 hours to read the details on how much he just wanted this job. How basically the moment Steve Bisciotti fired him, John had his eyes right on the Giants.
Yeah.
Like
O'Connor was all over it.
Yes, immediately. And it's also kind of crazy, and I think it's underrated around here because we've been so focused on ourselves, to think that Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh's eras ended at basically the exact same time. And they had such a great rivalry in that AFC North, which leads me to this very simple football question. I'm curious your opinions on it. Who had the better run? Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers or John Harbaugh with the Baltimore Ravens?
That is a great question.
It is a great question.
I mean, I'm biased here because I'm a Mike Tomlin guy, but I could argue, and I probably should argue, John Harbaugh did.
Interesting.
Same number of Super Bowl victories, but he also had 2 MVPs in Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
We have to stop the show. We have legitimate breaking news.
What sport?
Baseball.
Oh, God. I don't know if I could take this.
I know.
You're going to take it, Evan. And you're going to victory lap all around this place.
I'm going to victory lap?
What?
I'm excited.
Will Salmon is reporting within the last minute the Mets and Bo Bichette are in agreement on a 3-year deal.
I called it!
You nailed it.
I called it! Yes!
No.
I told you, Stearns, listen!
Wow.
Yes!
Wow.
All right! My guy! I'm glad I pivoted before it happened. All right?
That is solid.
And
that was your 11 o'clock pivot.
Well, by the way, it was more like my 8 a.m. pivot because I did it on the Rico.
But sometimes whatever. Some of the Rico listeners didn't hear it.
The New York Mets.
Because they were expecting it last night.
That's right. The New York Mets and Bo Bichette have agreed to a 3-year deal. And there's so much fascinating stuff from this based on our discussion from an hour ago. Number one, the positions. I immediately said, here's my plan. I'd put Bo at third base. I'd consider him in the outfield with Brett Beatty moving to first base or left field.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what the Met plan is.
Right.
And also, how much money are they paying him? The Phillies. Hold on. Sean, you'll like this. Hey, Philly. How'd that meeting go with Bo Bichette? You losers.
Right.
Remember that meeting?
Right.
You were so excited. Ooh,
So now this does bring up the question, what does the deal look like? And what was Philly offering? I don't remember if we ever got reported.
Screw him. He doesn't want to go there.
No, but I'm just wondering if they dodgered the Phillies.
Did we dodger the Phillies?
I have the money.
You have the
all
money.
Right, before you tell me, I want to guess. So I was saying to you, huge money AAV.
Yep.
And I think I said 40. Did I say 40 to you?
You did say 40.
So I'm going to go with a huge AAV of 3 years, $40 million a year, and I'm thinking an opt-out after.
So 3 years, 120, opt out after the second year.
After the second year, yeah, because I think they'd want him on at least 2 years.
48 seconds ago from Jeff Passan. Bo Bichette and the Mets are in agreement on a 3-year, $126 million contract.
Dude, I freaking nailed it.
We don't have any word on opt-out.
So it's more than 40 a year.
Right.
It's about 41, 42 a year.
Wow.
I got to tell you, rewind to 11 o'clock.
Dude, now we got to figure out what Philly was offering and see if the Mets are starting to do what the Dodgers
Oh,
did.
they absolutely did, because I think what the Phillies were probably offering was a long-term deal at $30 million a year, which is probably what his market said.
Yep.
And I think Bo Bichette got sold on exactly what I was selling at 11 and selling to Kyle Tucker.
Right, at 27 years old, he's going to get another deal.
Yes, and free agent market sucks for the next couple of years. Really, really unfortunate. I was looking forward to that John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin debate, but maybe we can save that for later on. That is a pivot, and it's the pivot I wanted, and it changes the complexion of this lineup. I think it changes the complexion of the offseason.
It complicates it, but it changes it.
Yes.
Where else can Polanco play?
Well, Polanco can play all the way in the infield, but right now the Mets are very set in the infield because Marcus Simeon's your second baseman. Lindor is your shortstop. The openings right now are first base, third base, DH clearly, and left field.
Right.
So could any of those guys play left field? Who's going to play first base? Like, there's a lot of weird defensive options. And look, the pushback you put on me when I brought this up an hour ago was, hey, you guys talked so much about
run prevention,
and now you're going to have all these guys out of position. That was certainly Sean's argument back at me. And my point was, first of all, I think these guys are athletic.
Of course.
So I think they can do it.
they all grew up as shortstops, and they played everywhere.
Right.
And did everything. So you couldn't do it, but what you've become professional at is being an infielder.
Yeah. But also, they needed to upgrade this offense. Like, they lost a lot of production, and quite frankly, they still have lost a lot of production with losing Pete Alonso. I don't want to make it out like, oh, everything's fine, but they closed the gap in terms of replacing what they lost with a player in Bichette who's very different than Pete Alonso. He hits for a much higher batting average.
Yep,
he
311 last year.
Does not hit for as much power, strikes out a little bit less. He's more athletic, obviously very different defensively, but he's that right-hand hitter that this lineup surely needs.
Right.
So he's not the same as Pete, just like Kyle Tucker wasn't the same as Pete.
He's a different kind of player, but a valuable player. Sean, the WRC plus on him versus Stephen Kwan, 134.
Wow, okay.
That means he's 34% better than everybody else. So, ask me how I'm feeling, Tiki.
No, you should be feeling great.
I'm excited.
Because there's a pivot. The pivot happened.
Yes, and it happened very quickly.
And it happened immediately, basically.
And they followed the script,
yeah,
which is, as much as we may disagree with it, and that's irrelevant at this point, about long-term deals versus short-term deals, if you're going to play in this marketplace, if you're going to play in the place of we're only going short-term deals, you got to pay up with enormous average annual salaries.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
And we like it because he took a valuable part of Toronto's roster last year.
Well, he took
out of the American League.
And he didn't go to Philly. I had to take that arrogant call an hour ago saying no one wants to play for the Mets, and my response was, wait a second, no one wants to play for the Mets if they're competing with the Dodgers.
Yes.
But do you want to play for the Mets if you're competing with Philadelphia? And clearly the answer is, yeah. Bo Bichette couldn't wait to get out of that stupid city.
And
He
it's interesting
couldn't wait.
it's interesting for Bo Bichette because he's young. He obviously, or at least his agent is advising him about what's been happening in New York. That is, some stalwart core pieces of the organization are no longer there. And so there is a void that is just created. And at 27 years old, you come in, you play to your level, then you can become a star very quickly here because it's Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and then who else? A bunch of young guys. Look, you have high hopes for them. Beatty and Francisco Alvarez and maybe even Vientos as a DH or whatever. Like, there's hope, but those guys are young and not proven. You're proven. You could come and make a real name for yourself here. And then if it works and they don't want to pay you, you go get paid someplace else at 30.
What I'm curious about, and I don't think this has been reported yet, Sean, is there opt-outs or is it a straight-up 3-year contract?
Yeah.
Which...
This one wasn't talked about for,
yet.
and it will take a while because it wasn't. I mean, there was a week and a half of Kyle Tucker,
and there was also zero connection between the Mets and Bo Bichette.
Right.
And the reason I never was enamored by Bo Bichette, because I mentioned this on the Rico, and I even said it to you that this is a new name for me. I loved him with the Yankees, obviously, but I didn't love him for the Mets because I questioned the position, like how he
Where
fits
does he
in.
fit?
Right.
Where does he fit?
I've grown to accept that because they needed a bat.
Yeah.
Like they needed another legitimate bat in the middle of this lineup. And I'm willing to make that kind of risk when it comes to defense if you're going to improve the offense, especially with no Pete Alonso, no Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger never being realistic. So I was willing to kind of make that concession. Now, Bo Bichette turns 28 the first week of March.
Yes.
So if this is a straight-up 3-year contract, he is signed for his age 28, his age 29, and his age 30 season. So he would enter free agency if there is no opt-out as a 31-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is not, look, that's Cody's age.
Yeah. It's
It's
not
Pete
ideal.
Alonso's age.
It's not ideal unless you are, for a long-term deal, unless you're raking.
He's got to perform, yeah.
He's got to be great.
But you know what he's going to get to show here, and we'll see positions, because what I won't rule out right now as we talk about positions, and I mentioned it at 11, is the idea of him moving to the outfield. Like,
yeah,
he's a good athlete.
Yeah.
Look, he's only played shortstop until the postseason. Like, literally, the only games he has ever played in his major league career is at shortstop until the postseason.
And then
right?
what happens in the postseason?
He played second base.
Ah, yes.
Right? They kept Andres Jimenez at shortstop.
That's right.
So he moved positions at, think about it, the most important time. Obviously, he's not playing shortstop here. So no matter what position he plays, whether it's third base or it's outfield or wherever it is a new position. And I'm just open-minded enough to say, you know what? You could play him in left field.
Well, and he might be more prone to do that because a lot of the reports, and Fine Sim started this last night, that his biggest issue in Toronto was he was done playing on turf. So without an outfield turf to run around being on grass, he might be more apt and prone to do it, where he would have been anti that at any point in Toronto.
He didn't want to play on turf.
I got you. I was confused by what you meant by that.
No, that's just what he wanted out of Toronto because he thought the turf was hurting him.
Fair enough. I just think it's an option.
They have turf in the infield.
Yeah.
Correct. But my only point is if the option is to move him all around, he would have never even considered that in Toronto. The Mets have grass, and this is a big
Where would you move him? So the options right now, we'll get your calls in a second in reaction if you're just tuning in. Yes, the Mets lost Kyle Tucker. They have pivoted in a big way. Bo Bichette to a 3-year deal. The best part is if you rewind to 11 a.m., you'll hear that was my pivot plan. It's almost like I had information.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't. I know I didn't.
Does this count as a puff of smoke, by the way?
I mean, it's a big move. It's a significant move, and we can argue.
No, this isn't Pope-worthy.
No deferrals, no opt-outs.
Wow. Oh, good. I like that better.
Yeah. I mean, for the Mets, you obviously absolutely love it better.
So you've got him for the next 3 years.
Correct.
And the motivation is go break out and be a superstar for 3 years, and at age 31, there's no chance in hell David Stearns is going to re-sign you.
Yeah. That's the challenge for him, for Bo Bichette. He has to know that it's a 3-year stint with the Mets, and that's it.
Yeah. And then have a big year. Now, John Morosi's tweeting the expectation is for Bo Bichette to play third base, which was the initial thought. So if they go Bichette at third now, you got this option with Brett Beatty. You could either move him to left field and see what he looks like out there, or he could be your first baseman, and Beatty and Polanco could kind of be like a combo at first base. Two guys trying to learn the position. Now, they could also trade Brett Beatty. I understand that's an option. I would need to know what I'm getting back. I got one. Brett Beatty to Boston for Jaron Duran. Bang, let's go. Now we're in business.
Yeah, Brett Beatty's not in the conversation right now.
Well, he is on a position change.
On a position, yeah.
But am I open to trading him for another need like an outfielder? Sure. Yeah, I'm for it. It depends on the trade. Like, the Marlins asked for Brett Beatty for Edward Cabrera, and I was not in favor of that. To me, no offense to Cabrera, he's got high-octane stuff, high potential. I was not willing to trade Beatty in a deal like that. But maybe today, with Bo Bichette replacing him at third base, if that is true, that's the Met plan, Beatty could be more movable, if you will.
Oh, it certainly feels like he's movable or at least expendable for the Mets. And given that there's still a lot of upside to his game, you could get something for him.
Yeah, want to go Brett Beatty for Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez? Could use an outfielder.
Yeah, we need outfielders right now.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We can't do anything right now.
No, and we haven't, as the Yankees, done anything.
No, the Yankees have added one player from outside the organization. Yes. And this could impact the Yankees, too, obviously. In fact, let's dive into that as well with your phone calls, 888-808-1019. Gabe is in Wayne, New Jersey. What's up, Gabe?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Yesterday I called in and I said, what would be worse for the Yankees' chances of signing Cody Bellinger? The Mets signing Kyle Tucker or the Blue Jays signing Kyle Tucker? I guess the answer was C. Which nobody really playing for.
Right.
So now looking at what Bo Bichette just landed. By the way, Heyman says that he's definitely playing third base.
Okay.
And Rosenthal says that there's actually 2 opt-outs in the deal after the first and second year. So check that one.
Whoa, hold on one second. That there is opt-outs after the first and second year?
So here's the problem. Yeah. Twitter just crashed in the midst of this. The passing tweet said no deferrals or anything.
All right. Well, deferrals are different than opt-outs.
But in any case, now, thinking from the Yankees' perspective, I mean, the Blue Jays have to be pissed, right? Bichette feels like a backup plan at worst. And now, they got to pivot to Bellinger, wouldn't you think?
Who, the Blue Jays?
Pivot? Yeah, the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they are going to pivot.
Yeah.
In a big way. By the way, let's clear this up real quick. There are opt-outs.
After years 1 and 2 now.
So that is a huge change, which means he could be gone after 1 year. Now, the Mets are giving up draft picks to get him because he turned down the qualifying offer, which is... It's interesting that Stearns is willing to do that. That almost feels a little panicky.
Yeah, it
that
feels
you'd
like
be willing
we
to
have
sign
to do
him.
something. We have to ensure something this offseason for our roster for 2026.
I am not against this. I still think it's worth it, but I am a little surprised that David Stearns is comfortable potentially losing him after 1 year and losing 2 draft picks in the process.
I'm not surprised about the opt-out. I'm surprised that it's after year 1.
Year 1 and year 2.
Yeah, but just forget year 2 is fine. I'd get that. Year 1, that's surprising.
Well, here's the good thing. If he's opting out of $42 million, he had a big year. So if he opts out, it means he produced in a major way and helped this team win games.
Heyman's also saying a $5 million opt-out bonus? What the hell does that mean? Who gets that bonus?
I think he does.
He gets rewarded for opting out?
If he opts out, he gets...
Yeah.
What?
So he could get $47 million
so
for
that's
playing
almost like saying opt out. It's almost like we have to sign you, but we don't really want you.
Why would you say that?
Because if you opt out, we're giving you $5 more million. All
right.
I'd like to understand that more.
Am I misreading that?
Well, I'd love to.
That makes no sense.
I'd love to understand the reading, but every time I click, Twitter recrashes. So this is where we're at.
I have it. Bichette has no deferrals in the deal. Mm-hmm. He has opt-outs after year 1 and year 2. He's expected to play third base. He has a $5 million opt-out bonus. So, yes.
What does that mean?
It means he gets $5 million more if he opts out.
But why would you incentivize someone to opt out?
Maybe it's a negotiate. That's what they asked for. Bo Bichette doesn't necessarily want.
But why would you give that?
Because you got to get the player. It's the market. If you're going to look, we talked about this with Tucker.
Why not just pay him $5 more million?
Because if he opts, I don't know. I don't know.
It almost sounds cheap. It's weird.
Cheap for who?
The Mets. He's like they're being cheap.
Him $47 million.
No, they're paying him $42 million.
But $47 if he opts out.
Right. So it's almost like, hey man, we want to pay you $41 million. No, I want $47. Okay, how about when you opt out, we'll give you $5 million.
Yeah, but
so you're deferring a $5 million. So it's not a deferral, but it is a deferral because it's happening.
Yeah.
He's opting out. So I know what Passan said. There's no deferral. This is de facto a deferral.
All right.
And again,
does it bother you enough to not want to sign him?
Anything. I think it's just stupid business because why give somebody $5 million if you don't have to? But that is what it is. If it took that to get the deal done because he wanted $45 million or $40 whatever million and they were only
maybe it affects 41. The AAV. Ever think of that? I don't know.
I'm sure it affects the AAV. It definitely affects the AAV.
Here's the question.
Why does that affect the Mets?
I don't care about the $5 million bonus. What I care about is, do you have an issue with the fact that he can opt out after 1 year? That you're paying the guy and
I
you're
do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, I liked it better when it was 3 years. No
100%. And 2 would be fine. But I still have to ask the question, is this Mets team well positioned enough to be doing a 1-year deal with Bo Bichette? Meaning, we're going to win it this year, and Bo Bichette is helping us doing it. Like the Yankees did with Juan Soto.
Right.
It was worth it.
Right.
1-year deal. Let's get Juan Soto. We got to the World Series. Now, we stunk, and it is what it is, but we got to where we wanted to go. Are the Mets doing that with Bo Bichette?
I think they're trying to make the playoffs. They're clearly not as good as the Dodgers, but if they make the playoffs, sure, anything can happen. We talk about that all the time. Look.
That's a weird opt-out.
I like the move because they needed the player, and it's a player I wanted. I would have loved it more if there weren't opt-outs.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. But they got the player. And to get a player on a short-term deal like this, you have to make concessions that seem absurd. Like paying a guy $42 million a year who's not worth $42 million a year, or throwing in $5 million opt-out bonuses. Either way, simple test. Are the Mets better positioned to compete in 2026 with Bo Bichette or without Bo Bichette?
With
and the
Bo
answer
Bichette.
is with.
It's not even a question.
So from that standpoint, I'm glad they made the move.
Yeah, and they deferred $5 million.
If that's what you want to call it, that's totally fine.
That's exactly what it is.
All right. Let's go to Ed in Port Washington. What's up, Ed?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good.
How's everybody today?
What's up, Ed?
This for the baseball savant there. My man, come on. You serious? 42. We're paying him that much money? This was a total insult to Pete Alonso. A total insult. And your boy Joe is right, 100% right. This guy's a joke. The boy wonder. The boy wonder's got to go. He's destroying our ball club. It is disgusting on what this guy is doing to our ball club.
So you don't like this, Ed?
Like it? It's an understatement, Teak.
I would have rather have paid Pete Alonso on a short-term deal. I don't think there was any chance Pete was going to accept it. And I do agree with the notion that I would have tried, like I would have made that attempt. But I don't think that was going to happen because the difference between Bichette and Alonso is Bichette can benefit by going back in a free agency a year from now.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Pete could not have done a 3-year deal.
He's in his 30s, coming off a monster year.
Right, 31. So if he would have done this exact deal, let's say without the opt-outs, he's 34. He's not getting a long-term
But here's the problem. So I agree if we're going to go relitigate history. Would I have preferred Alonso on a short-term deal? Absolutely. But he's gone and he's not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So today, on January 16th, as they lost Kyle Tucker to the LA Dodgers, this is their best pivot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ozzy in Woodridge. What's up, Oz?
Ozzy.
What a roller coaster ride for this Cowboy Mets fan this week. Oh, my gosh.
I got a headache.
Yeah, same with Jets Mets fans, too, to an extent.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, we have no hope, the Jets. At least the Mets have a glimmer of hope.
Ozzy, do you love this? Hate it?
Yeah, well, you got like the hope smack in your face. Me, he's right in my division, a team builder and a CEO guy. So rough start to the week. And I know the Giants weren't gonna listen to me and my trolling Cowboy call for them to go after McCarthy.
Right.
But for them not to listen to the generational talent, the future, who wanted McCarthy from jump all the way until the Harbaugh news got announced, now that's a slap in the face to the future, wouldn't you think?
It definitely is. You're no longer generational.
Yes.
Oh, my. And he was doing it, Teak, right up until the last minute when the news broke on his show about the Harbaugh hire. So there's no escaping that one. I can't believe they didn't listen to him, you know?
I'm still stunned by that. I thought the Giants always listened to Tom.
Yeah, and then the rolling up, down, the Tucker news. But now we got, Bichette. Let's go after Bellinger. Get a little killer bees action going.
But Ozzy, it's not happening. Like, I understand, hey, now go get Cody. He can play center field. The lineup would be even better. Of course it would. And yes, if you told me the Mets had Cody Bellinger, great. They're not doing that because the offers they wanted to hand out, and I'll include this with Alonso from the past, I'll include this with Kyle Tucker from yesterday, and obviously with the move they just succeeded in pulling off by signing Bo Bichette, is they're not going long-term. And Cody Bellinger won 7 years.
Right.
So I think the Yankee fan worry on a move like this is how Toronto reacts. It is a fair question, which I brought up earlier into just not getting Kyle Tucker. How will they react? Well, now they didn't get Kyle Tucker. They lost Bo Bichette. You have to believe the Blue Jays are a major threat for Cody Bellinger, just using logic.
Right, because they're aggressive. Like they are not. They're Dodgers extraordinarily light. right? They're trying to just bring in free agent after free agent, get to the postseason, and win. And so when you miss on a guy who you were heavily after, you just quickly pivot. And the question is does Cody Bellinger want to play in Toronto, number one? And then two, is Toronto offering him what he wants?
I think
7 years, whatever the number is.
If I had to guess, I err on the
After
side
just
of
offering Tucker 10 years.
And they're not offering Cody the same as Tucker because
No, of
Tucker's
course.
a better player.
And he's older.
But I do think Toronto is a major threat right now. And Sean may be right when I brought it up earlier, but even more so today now with Bo Bichette gone. I think the hope that you have is he doesn't want to go there. The hope that you have is he wants to be a Yankee. But just reading the tea leaves, you have to think the Blue Jays are now ready to at least be really aggressive on Bellinger. The Mets are not.
I completely agree. And again, I think we have more proof than not over the course of the last couple of years that the Blue Jays have been ready to be aggressive on all of these guys, and there's a reason they don't get them.
Anthony's in Mineola. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, what's up, boys? How we doing today?
Good, man. What's up?
Good. So I'm pretty happy with Bo Bichette. I don't see why anybody wouldn't be. I've seen the trend that I've seen is that nobody's talking about. Everybody that hits in front of Juan Soto or behind them have their best years.
Yeah.
So Pete Alonso had his best year last year. Why? Oh, it's because it's Pete. He hits home runs? No. It's because he had Juan Soto in front of him. I expect like 2 or 3 big trades coming. Don't be surprised if Screwball's on the way. Thanks, boys.
I still would be. I would still be surprised. But the trade I could see coming is for an outfielder because unless they're moving Brett Beatty to left field or Jorge Polanco to left field, they still have a need there.
Yeah.
What they filled by signing Bichette is they've improved their lineup, and they've done a better job. I don't think they fully have done it, but they've done a better job of replacing what they've lost. And our last caller brings up a fair point. As much as they've lost in Pete, is Bo Bichette going to get the Soto bounce?
Right.
The fact that whether he's hitting behind him or after him, you get protection because even if you're hitting behind him, you come up with him on base so often, you tend to get more pitches to hit. So it's just or you just come up with more guys on base, honestly. So that's the benefit of hitting either before or behind Soto.
Right.
But I got to put that in my head now, how I'm going to line these 3 guys up. I had it with Tucker. I don't have it with Bo Bichette. Let's go to Josh in Texas. What's up, Josh?
How y'all doing, boys?
All's good.
What's up?
Nah, man. Look, this has been a rough offseason. Like, I've wanted to fly off the I-10 flyover several times, especially after losing Diaz and Alonso.
Yep.
Like, I'll take this as a win.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like, I just can't help but like feel that Boy Wonder over here is trying to think he's Brad Pitt in Moneyball, but he ain't. That's the issue, is that I feel like he's trying to be that, but then he realized, you can't exactly let a bunch of fan favorites walk away and then be expected to be greeted warmly on the street.
You know
like,
what
were you expecting?
But you know why I don't think this necessarily fits David Stern saying, oh, crap, I pissed a lot of Met fans off, let me pivot? Because other than giving up the draft picks, right, which I agree is a little surprising for a guy who may be gone after a year, he didn't alter from going long-term.
No.
It's not like he gave Bo Bichette an 8-year contract.
Right. So it is on a limb a little bit because of the QO that was attached to it, but it's exactly what he's always done. He's not going to overpay, meaning year-wise, for anybody.
Right.
And except for Juan Soto, and Yamamoto was offered that. But other than the generational type player, David Stearns isn't going there at all. And so that's why when you think about what's the next move, Cody Bellinger doesn't make any damn sense because you know what his agent wants.
All right, we got details on what the Phillies offered.
Okay.
You ready? Get your calculator out.
Let's go.
According to Bob Nightingale, who, a little spotty, the Phillies had agreed to Bo Bichette's request for 7 years, $200 million last night and believed they were going to sign him until the New York Mets swooped in with their 3-year, $126 million offer after losing out on the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes.
I mean, that's 14 more million AAV.
Yeah, significant.
It's significant.
But
at 28.
But it's 7 years. And it's similar to the Tucker thing with Toronto.
Yeah, but if he's great for a year and he makes $42 million and he opts out, gets $5 more million, and then goes and signs with the Dodgers,
right?
Then isn't this the better deal?
So let's do the math on this because you're right. If he has a great year and opts out, so that taking away about $47 million, including the opt-out bonus, that means all he's got to do on his next contract to match what the Phillies offered is get 6 years, $155 million.
Yeah.
Which he probably gets.
Right.
So, yes, the Mets swooped in.
At 29 years old.
You know what makes it suck for the Phillies? That Bichette's asked for something. The Phillies say yes. And then Bichette's like, never mind. I'm gone. Like, usually when someone asks for something and they give it to you, like, you've got the player. Like,
this is what I want. This gets it done.
Yeah. Did he ever go back to the Phillies and say,
it.
hey, sorry, guys, I got this?
He
didn't want to be in Philly.
No. Because the Mets didn't do this until just now.
That's right. Bo Bichette was waiting. He was saying, please, someone rescue me from this horrible city. I cannot play in this horrible, horrible city with these disgusting fans. And Steve Cohen saved them. So we're like Spider-Man for Bo Bichette. Come on, Sean, you're enjoying this. Screw Philadelphia.
Screw Philly. This feels so tough week to be an Eagle-Philly fan. How about that?
We'll get more of your reaction, plus Sean Cinco, 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. There's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older systems waste gas, so get yours checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Dr. Jay Shah at Samwell Pain Management. Visit SamwellPainManagement.com.
Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who all trust Samwell Pain for all of their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Something big just rolled into 7-Eleven. Meet our 4 new Johnsonville sausages. Hot and ready on the roller grill. Smoky cheddar. Loaded with Wisconsin creamy cheddar smoked with real hardwood chips. Jalapeno cheddar. Bold and melty cheddar with a spicy jalapeno kick. Smoked Polish, seasoned with black pepper and garlic, slow smoked for serious flavor. And ultimate Italian, bursting with basil, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. Right now at 7-Eleven, get any 2 roller grill items for just $3.50. That's any 2 roller grill items for $3.50 at 7-Eleven. Valid through 3/3/26. Participating stores only. While supplies last. Visit store for full terms.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want with 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Start something new sales event.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-8877. 800-885-8877. Again, that's 800-885-8877.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
History's masterpieces wouldn't be the same without their most notable accents. Neither would the Kia Sportage without its multiple drive modes. The Kia Sorento without its expansive 12.3-inch panoramic display. Or the Kia Telluride without its 3 rows of spacious seating. The Kia SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Boomer here. If you care about cooking your meat to perfection as much as I do, the IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. So there's no guesswork. There's no overcooking. Just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off precision cooking. So why not grab yours today at chefiq.com, code word BOOMER to save 30% at checkout.
The divisional round is this weekend, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, Chicago is trading at 35% to beat LA. A $100 trade pays out $258. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade $100. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Looking for Continental winter tires? Then head to Town Fair Tire, New England's largest volume discount tire dealer. We've got Continental tires in every size for every vehicle, in stock with more arriving daily, all at the guaranteed lowest price. And when you add the most free services for life, it's easy to see how nobody beats Town Fair Tire for your new Continental winter tires. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The New York Boat Show is at the Javits Center, January 21st through the 25th. Tickets at nyboatshow.com.
If you're sitting in traffic, you need to do something. Might as well call the Fan. Let's chat about it now. Call the WFAN Sports Fan Helpline at 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
What a 24-hour run in New York sports. The best available coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach, John Harbaugh, has reportedly agreed to become the Giant head coach, even though it's not official yet. I would not worry about
Wait,
that.
How are we doing our prediction then? Are we official day?
We did a date and time prediction on the Giant
Yes.
coach. We did it based on the report.
So
we're not waiting on that. That happened 2 nights ago now.
You just want to win.
No, it's what we agreed
That
to
makes
on the
you
air.
win.
But it's what we agreed to on the air. It's not just me trying to win.
I got it.
I'm
I'm going to need proof of that.
All right. I'll find the audio. I don't have it with us now. I'll get it to you at some point. But then Kyle Tucker, the Mets' pursuit of him, they lose out on the pursuit because he ends up with the L.A. Dodgers. And then what broke about a half hour ago.
Yes, this Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. So the news of the last hour, Bo Bichette and the Mets are in agreement on a 3-year deal with no deferrals, but opt-outs after the first and second seasons. Ken Rosenthal on the news of the opt-outs. The other second piece of breaking news right now from Adam Schefter, the Giants and John Harbaugh are still working through the details of their contract. It is not done yet.
Whoa.
The final issues, though, aren't over money. It's over language. But, quote, there's no derailment and nothing has changed, one source said. Talks continue and the two sides are working to try to get it across the finish line.
Should we be worried, Tiki?
I don't think so.
What do you mean? What do they mean by language?
It's just language. It's just probably the length of the contract, the control over the finances for him and his staff, things of that nature, which veteran coaches tend to get. Like, you know the story about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
His roster.
Yeah.
His coaching staff. Basically, he got all the money, and then he decided what the staff would make.
Is there
if they were fired head coaches, he would take the surplus.
Oh, interesting. Is there a time in which you'd say, okay, I'm a little worried this isn't done yet? I mean, you're not there yet at 12:39.
If it's not done by when I predicted it, which is Monday, that's only because of the date.
Okay.
Like the difference.
Yeah.
Like if we heard this on Wednesday. If it's not done by Monday,
then you're worried.
Then you're worried.
Okay. When will you get worried about this John Harbaugh thing still not being done because of disagreement on language?
There's degrees of worried. I've hit at least the first degree of worry.
Really?
I agree. I think he's going to be here. I think there's no problem. But the idea that this all broke and Paul Schwartz had it, we're going to be on 48 hours here. Can we get pen to paper?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I was saying this has been a crazy couple of days. Wouldn't it be even crazier if this fell apart?
No, it wouldn't be, Evan. How about let's not put that into the air?
Well, I have
What if Bo Bichette fails his physical? How would that sound?
Right.
It would suck.
It's not falling apart. Don't worry about that.
And Bo Bichette may not fail his physical.
It's just language that they'll eventually agree upon.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying Sean
it's
is
too
already
important for the Giants.
I agree with you. I think eventually the Giants will just give him whatever the hell he wants. But Sean has already admitted you're in the first degree of worry.
First degree. That's it.
How many degrees are there?
I don't know yet. Ask me that Monday.
Okay. All right. We'll get back to your call's reaction to the Bo Bichette contract, and I'll also explain why there is a small level of panic in the move that they made, despite me really liking it.
Sean Moraes in the booth. Somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling. No! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking. Nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
All right. Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything everywhere. If you listened to the show last Friday, we talked about all of our rooting interests and going up and down the board of Divisional Weekend. 8 teams remain. No Philadelphia Eagles, no Dallas Cowboys. So for me, what are the 5 easiest teams to root against this weekend? I had to find them. Here we go.
Here we go. Number 5.
I'm putting the Rams here. And you know, the more I think about it, Matt Stafford, you should not get rewarded with another ring after you used the Giants last year to get more money from the Rams in the offseason.
It's amazing when you look at the 8 quarterbacks in this postseason still remaining. He is the oldest by almost a decade.
I know.
Crazy.
He's 38, soon to be 39. And then who's the next oldest? Brock Purdy?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is 29. Brock Purdy's 26.
Yeah.
And all the other 3 are under 25.
Crazy.
It's nuts.
How old is Josh Allen now?
27.
I guess Allen and Darnold are probably in that same group.
6'7", 26,
Hey,
7.
good job over there.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is the Broncos, and it's for one reason and one reason only. The faster Jim Leonard is free to talk to John Harbaugh legally and the Giants, the better. Get Denver out.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that Anthony Weaver is a big candidate,
Yeah,
potential candidate, because he was in Baltimore.
He was the assistant head coach to John Harbaugh.
Right, and so he's got a familiarity with the head coach, and he's getting head coaching opportunities.
Jimmy Leonard is one of the hottest kind of candidates out there for a DC job, and I want him.
All right.
And he has a history with my team.
Does that preclude him from being a Giant candidate?
No, I don't think it precludes him. I'm just giving you my opinion that he's atop my list, much like he's atop Sean.
I thought you were saying keep my guy's name out your mouth type of thing.
I can't do that. I mean, look, the Giants have a better chance to win, better chance to handle your resume. I know that the Jets are having an upward battle. It's like the Mets competing with the Dodgers, even though the Giants are not the Dodgers, but the Mets are also not the Jets. They're much, 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 much further down in the ground. I'm just telling you I like the guy, too. So, keep going.
Number 3.
Number 3 is the Bills, and Jet fans, you'll agree with me. I'm tired of the Bills fans thinking they invented fandom, and Sean McDermott is a weasel.
Yes. Yes. Hating the Buffalo Bills is like an American tradition now.
Yes, it's easy.
All right.
Number 2.
The Patriots. While I haven't built up this era Patriot hate yet, I kind of like May, I kind of like Vrabel. It's still Boston fans, so frankly, F them.
Yeah, it's only because of the fan. Because I kind of like Vrabel. I do like Drake May.
But how much do those pigs need to win?
I think you just hit on it. Like
it's all the fan.
They can't get more success this soon after having a dynasty.
Yeah.
It would be like the Chicago Bulls putting together another championship team by 2005. Like that can't happen.
Right.
And they've suffered for a long time, the Bull fans. And now I'm slowly moving into an area where they're ready to start winning. But even still, I think they need more suffering. So Patriot fans, you got a few more decades.
All right, and the number 1 easiest team to root against this weekend?
Number 1.
It's the Seattle Seahawks. I cringed this week when there was a story.
Why?
I cringed this week when there was a story that came out where Julian Love was quoted and the Seahawks brass were talking about, well, how much aren't you happy you're here? Big Leonard Williams and Julian Love. Now you guys get to really experience winning, and Julian Love talked about it. There's already that narrative. And Sam Darnold's quarterback in this team.
Bro.
So the last thing I want,
it's funny. I don't feel Julian Love.
I don't feel it either. But
I don't feel Leonard Williams, even though I know when I did a game up there, Pete Carroll said he's the perfect 3 technique. That hurt at the time he said it because he really is. But I don't feel like I'd be upset if they won.
Okay, I'm not upset at the people, but the fact that that story was already written earlier in the week told me after last year we dealt with Saquon, I don't want that. And also, honestly, in this town, does anybody need the Sam Darnold victory tour with
but
the
how
Jets?
many people other than us are going to remember that Julian Love was a Giant?
I'm not making a list for Topeka.
I'm being honest. Like, seriously.
That's right. And think about this. I'm already mentally healthy enough to be okay with Sam having success.
Right.
Sam's like
we actually root for him.
I liked Sam. I wanted the Jets to draft him. They screwed him up. I don't have issues with him. Now, Sam is banged up. He injured his oblique the other day, and so Drew Lock. Drew Lock.
Now that would bother me.
Yeah, that would bother you.
Oh, God.
Drew Lock wins and goes and ends up having to play in the championship game and Super Bowl.
Becomes Nick Foles.
Backup or Jeff Hostetler.
That would bother me.
Backup quarterbacks have won before, so Drew Lock taking first-team reps instead of Sam is interesting.
Right.
But more on these games later because we will make our NFL picks, and I've gone back and forth on a few of these games, but we will give you kind of our feeling for what's going to go down. But let's get to your phone calls. It's a big day for the Mets and also the Yankees because I think a lot of these moves are impacting what may occur to the Yankees next. If you're just tuning in, Kyle Tucker late last night signed with the LA Dodgers, spurning the New York Mets. Today, Bo Bichette signs with the Mets. Real quick, here's the panic. So I ran into Craig. He gave the typical panic, which is $46 million, $42 million.
Right.
But technically it could be more for Bo Bichette. That's a panic move. That's not the panic move because they were offering Kyle Tucker 60. So the Mets are clearly okay and comfortable with what I like to call the short-term contract tax, which is we're going to pay a certain amount of money on a shorter-term deal.
Right. They were going to spend 60, so we're going to spend a portion of that anyways.
And that's different than just saying Juan Soto makes 50, Aaron Judge makes this. Dude, they signed long-term deals. You're paying a premium to get a guy on a short-term deal. So that's BS. That's not the panic. The panic, to me, and I'm okay with it, is agreeing to an opt-out after the first year. Because what you're agreeing to do is not only give up the draft pick compensation associated with signing a free agent who rejected the qualifying offer, but you're okay giving that up and also losing the player after 1 year. So you're essentially, it's like a trade at the trade deadline. You're trading 2 potentially good prospects for a rental. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, knowing David Stearns, he really ideally wants to do that. In fact, screw it. He told me the one time I've had a face-to-face with him, because I pushed him about Jordan Montgomery. I did. And then obviously I got that wrong about signing him. And he said, do you really want to give up the draft picks attached to it for a guy who can opt out after 1 year? And I understood the point. So to do this.
So why would he do this then?
That's where you could argue it's a little level of panic. Even though I agree with
it's a little level of panic, and it's appeasing the fan base in some capacity because it's not the best deal for the Mets. I mean, he's a potentially great player, Bo Bichette, and obviously it creates positional question marks, but he's a really good player, and he has a chance to be fantastic. But if he opts out and leaves you, and let's say you win 86 games this year and don't make the playoffs, or do make the playoffs and crash out after the wild card, then ultimately, was it worth it?
You know what's tough about a question like that? Carlos Beltran's about to get elected to the Hall of Fame. The Mets signed him to a mega contract. He played basically all of that contract till they traded him at the very end.
Right.
They made one postseason, had multiple collapses, and he struck out in the 7th game of the NLCS. Was it a good contract, Tiki? Do you know what I'm saying? It's complicated.
Yeah.
They didn't have
what
nearly
was the total number of years?
7, 1, 10, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but
Different
how many
world,
did
by
he
the
play?
way. What was that?
How many did he play?
How many of the years?
Yeah.
6.5. And then he did have injuries.
So that feels worth it because you got some real enjoyment and belief that he could be the guy.
So a year
even though the production as a team wasn't there.
Well, you just did it for Bo Bichette, though.
But Bo should be here for 1 year.
Okay, so 1 year changes things.
1 year. I'm agreeing with you. If they win 86 games this year, go to the postseason, get knocked out immediately, and then ultimately he leaves, and you've lost picks.
Yeah.
You paid $47 million now because of the 5-year bonus, which I still don't understand. Was it worth it?
Yeah, well, I still would have made this move. I just think that that's the level of panic you could at least accuse David Stearns of. But I still think it's worth it because I think he improves the team and it gives you a better chance to win.
Right.
And we'll see what happens.
Right.
And by the way, I'll throw this at you because I do not know. And I don't know if this coincides because he may have to opt out prior to the lockout. But who knows what a new CBA does to impact that decision.
Oh, right. If he sees it coming, he's not going to sit in free agency and not be paid.
He may say to himself, you know what, I'm going to opt in a year 2. Let me see what the CBA is, and then I'll decide on a year 3. So there's a lot of elements to it that are unpredictable.
Right.
I am just pointing out that if you're going to accuse the Mets of panic, don't do it based on money. I would do it more based on, wow, you were willing to let him leave after a year while giving up the compensation. That's my only point.
Forgive me if you said this and I missed this. John Heyman is saying the Mets see Brett Baty playing multiple positions this season, including third base.
Yeah, I think they may trade him. That's where I'm now kind of leaning.
Well, that's what you say when you want to make someone feel valuable.
Yeah.
He can play everywhere. He's trained at first, third, left field.
And that could happen.
And it could.
But if they get a trade, if it's Freddie
it just
Peralta
makes it more valuable, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Jaron Duran, like there are names where I think I'd be more willing today to move him than I was an hour ago based on this move. Let's get to your reaction, more of it, Met fans' perspective and Yankee fans' perspective, because obviously this does impact Toronto and maybe they're bidding on Cody Bellinger. Spencer is in Wantagh. What's up, Spencer?
What's going on, boys?
What's
Good afternoon.
Yo.
First, I just want to say it's great to always rip a guy out of the arms of a Philadelphia team. That always feels good.
Yes.
But, Ev, I think you make a great point about the CBA, having Bichette, feel out the market, see what it's looking like next year. Teak, I think you're wrong about Stearns appeasing Mets fans. I think he has proven to us time and time again he does not give a about appeasing Mets fans.
That is fair,
I think
Spencer.
what he wants to do
That is fair.
is put a good team on the field every year, but give himself, flexibility the year after and every year that comes after that. But I don't think Brett Baty's going to get traded. I think this opens up the opportunity to trade the trio of Mauricio, Acuna, and Vientos. Ev, I want to get your thoughts on that. Maybe for a mid-level reliever or something. But
See, I want to do better than a mid-level reliever. But, I think that they're open for business on a lot of those redundant young players. I would think off of last year, Baty has the most value because of the year he had. A year earlier, Vientos had the most value. And really, yes, I think they're open to a trade. I think it depends on what we're talking about.
Right.
Because the trade market makes the most sense now that the Mets have added Bichette. Like, I don't see them signing Framber Valdez, especially now, because they've already signed one qualifying offer free agent. So I think Framber Valdez would be stunning to me if they sign him. So where are they adding the starting pitcher? Where are they adding the outfielder? I think there's a chance, Teak, that they use the surplus of young players to add that way.
Yeah, and that would be in the trade market. The problem is we don't have any idea who internally, via whatever metrics they're using, advanced in analytics, who's important to them via trade. It could be some random person we don't know on whatever team. So it's hard to guess where they're going in the trade market. But you're right, it makes sense. You're not doing QOs for two players.
No.
And paying them a ton of money.
That was a part of why many thought the Dodgers and Blue Jays wouldn't do it. The Dodgers have already done it for Diaz. Now they're doing it for Tucker, which means they're losing 4 draft picks.
Yeah, but they don't. We said this earlier.
They don't care.
They don't care about draft picks.
And they have every right
because
to.
they know that, we're short at second or left field. We'll buy them.
But I don't know if the Mets would. In fact,
No.
I'd be surprised.
No, they
I'd
wouldn't.
be stunned.
They wouldn't.
So Framber Valdez, you could cross them off the list. So I think a trade is almost the likeliest route that they go now. Let's go to Sean in Yonkers. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm a Yankee fan here. I'm obviously very frustrated because I thought Bo Bichette was the pivot plan if we didn't go get Cody Bellinger. But, as a Yankee fan, it feels like we're the hooker on the side of the road with like a $20 sign saying, please, somebody help us. It's just, it never works. We're in negotiation with Cody Bellinger, but I kind of have a feeling that he's not coming back. And even if he does come back, the Red Sox, the Orioles, and the Blue Jays have all improved. It feels horrible this offseason to be a Yankee fan, and that's not something I'm used to saying. So I'll hang up and listen.
I get it. This has been the Mets and the Yankees have had different off seasons in that the Mets have lost a lot of players. That's what's made it difficult. The Yankees haven't lost players yet. They've just done nothing.
They haven't done anything.
We mentioned it. Their one acquisition from an outside source was the trade they made the other day for Ryan Weathers. That was the first major leaguer they acquired.
And he's a okay but not great pitcher.
Just one thing, too. I know they added Suarez. The Red Sox lost Alex Bregman. That's a big freaking deal. I mean,
True.
I'm not exactly petrified of Boston today.
I wouldn't be either, and I think the Red Sox fan feels the same way, Sean. They're very upset at ownership. They have definitely improved their rotation, no doubt about it. They added Sonny Gray. They just added Ranger Suarez. They did trade for Wilson Contreras. We can't forget that. But losing Alex Bregman's a big deal.
Yeah, and Toronto losing Bichette is a big deal for what they were doing.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think it's not, the Orioles have gotten better. I mean, they added my guy.
Right.
As you're well aware of.
Yeah, great. All right, so Pete will hit a bunch of home runs. They'll finish in 4th. Great.
I don't know that. They had a down year last year, but what about the previous few years? They were a team on the rise until they had a bad year last year.
Who's pitching for them?
Well, who's pitching? That really is the cross?
Yeah.
They are
the Mets guy, Helsley.
Yeah, great. Out of the bullpen.
That's what they signed, right?
Yes, they did. Let's go to Steve and Lawrence. Hey, Steve.
Hey, first of all, Evan, sorry that you had to wake up so early this morning because bad news. Will be the lowest rated RICO in history.
Because it's outdated already?
Right.
Yes, sir. And nobody wants to hear bad news, Evan. Everybody wants to hear good news, Evan, about Bo.
Yeah, but Steve, here's the best part. Here's why I would advise anyone to listen to the RICO or just rewind till 11. My pivot plan on the RICO and here was to sign Bo Bichette to essentially the contract he signed.
Yeah, but you need
So
now
I should listen to
you need to put the addendum on.
That's true.
The reaction after Bo Bichette signed.
Of course.
Yeah. I'll do one tonight. I'll do another one.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Steve.
Evan, I'm going to listen so I can hear how great you are. But, Evan, one thing. I'm a full season ticket holder to the Mets.
Yeah.
I'm at every game. I see you, and I never say hello because I'm respectful. So just wanted to let you know that
Well, you
some
can
people are
always
nice.
say hello. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, but you can always come and say what's up.
All right, so let me tell you, as a Met fan, really watching every game since 1971, I like this way better than the Tucker move, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Tucker is, where there's smoke, there's fire. When they say he's a dud in the locker room and that he's boring and maybe he doesn't like baseball, there's got to be some truth. Bichette, when I watch him, there's a joy to him. There's a killer instinct. He's like an 86 Met to me, and I love it because of that.
I can see that. I think he definitely presents himself as a grinder,
Thank you, Steve.
if you will.
Yeah.
So I totally get the appeal of that.
That's the kind of player you want.
Yeah, I
You
think
need, especially if you're paying him, and it feels maybe even like an overpay. He better be busting his ass.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think he's going to want to bust his ass because he did get this opt-out after year one,
Right.
which they needed to add to get him. So as much as it's not ideal, and I rather it be just a straight-up 3-year deal, I also understand that when you're looking to sign someone to a short-term deal, when they have a 7-year offer, you got to go to places that you're uncomfortable with.
Right.
And opt out after the first year, $42 million a year, the opt-out bonus, none of it's ideal. But you do it because you don't want to give a guy 7 years. The Phillies were willing. And the only way to compete with that are things like that. Would I have preferred, because I always want to be honest with you, would I have preferred Kyle Tucker over Bo Bichette? I would have. And my answer to that is, A, I think Kyle Tucker is better, and B, he fits neater with this team because he's an outfielder and the Mets need outfield help. With all of that said, as I mentioned earlier, this was my number one pivot plan. So I like it. I'm excited about it. I feel better about this team, but I can't sit here and alter how I would have felt if they signed Kyle Tucker. That's the way I feel. More of your calls coming up. We'll make our NFL picks in the final hour as well. Idiots with Idioms, all coming up, 888-808-1019.
I am always traveling. Last weekend, we went down to Atlantic City for a cheer competition. Both my girls' teams won. It was fantastic. And CJA in general was awesome. But I was away from home, and nobody was there. And I need my home to feel like it's safe and protected. It's why a few weeks ago, we partnered with Sloman's, and they installed the Sloman Shield Link system into my new home. It is amazing and a game changer. It combines safety, convenience, and peace of mind, and I can manage it all through my phone. As we're halfway down the parkway, I realized I didn't lock the door. I didn't set the alarm. I didn't put on the landscape lighting. I had my wife, who's sitting right next to me, log into the Sloman Shield Link system and turned it all on and made it seem safe and protected, and we knew it was safe and protected. We had cameras watching everything, doorbell cameras, smoke alarms. We felt content and safe even though we were away from home. You too can experience the future of home security and automation with the Sloman Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit slomans.com.
The home of New York Giants football, The Fan.
Runs out of the tackle, down the right sideline, cuts inside at the 5, in for the touchdown!
1019 FM WFAN. WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Seattle Seahawks are the current favorites to win Super Bowl 60 and are a touchdown favorite on Saturday night against San Francisco. But watch out for quarterback Sam Darnold, who picked up an oblique injury in Thursday's practice. Now, Darnold is expected to play, but we have seen Darnold face-plant in big situations before, and now potentially dealing with an oblique injury. Definitely an injury to watch heading into kickoff on Saturday night. I'm Nick Costos.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Road Show. August 26th at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater with special guest Carter Fade. Chris Stapleton's All-American Road Show. On sale now at livenation.com, part of the Cadillac Tri-State Concert Series.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied, it's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The ristoranti, restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and cruise from $199 plus up to $500 onboard credit and kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a Profit Boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the divisional round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple Profit Boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more way to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in. Take your shot at an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Maybe you'll parlay each team's lead running back to score an anytime touchdown. And apply your Profit Boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/New York and grab your Profit Boost pack every NFL playoff game day. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues now. Drawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on one. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
At Volkswagen Manhattan, experience premium service in the heart of New York. Visit their flagship showroom on 56th and 11th. Volkswagen Manhattan, where sophistication meets performance.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Attention drivers! The Mega Millions jackpot is up to $220 million. Take a break from the Jersey traffic and stop at any New Jersey lottery retailer to grab a ticket.
How we doing? Very busy Friday. It started with the complaints of Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers. It continues with either the excitement or confusion of Bo Bichette coming to the New York Mets. And Giant fans are waiting because John Harbaugh is not officially the head coach of the New York Giants. They are still working out different languages. They're working out the language of the contract.
Right.
And as Tiki said earlier, do not get worried until Monday. If we don't have the language finalized by Monday, that's when Tiki would start to say, okay, I'm getting a little worried. Sean has already reached a level of worry, but it's a small degree. And I would tell you, calm down. Like, this is inevitable, especially the reporting over the last few days on how much John wanted the job, how he thought about it the moment he got fired.
Right.
I can't see anything breaking this apart.
Yeah, I think it's likely more about his ability to manage staff and his decisions regarding things that go on within that organization, whether it's personnel, et cetera, et cetera.
I agree. We'll get your calls in a second, 888-808-1019. Are you ready, Sean, or no?
I am ready.
Okay.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. It's a quiet Friday for our pro locals that actually are currently playing. Only the Nets play tonight, a home game with the Bulls that can be heard right here on the Fan. A busy Saturday ahead will include the Rangers in Philly, the Isles in Calgary, and the limping Knicks returning home to play the Suns tomorrow night.
What's crazy about tomorrow is it's all spread out. Like the Rangers are playing at 1 o'clock, the Islanders are playing at 3 o'clock, the Knicks and the Devils play at night, so it's like a complete spread out kind of day. And then obviously you got football. And I think the most appealing game of the weekend, if you ask me, is actually the first one, Buffalo-Denver.
Yeah.
I think it actually kicks off.
No, I think you're right.
With the most appealing game of the weekend.
Because there's some people who still don't believe in the Broncos.
Yes.
They think that it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors with Bo Nix because he's not an elite quarterback, but he's been good enough in moments. They play with a great defense because Vance Joseph is kind of like Brian Flores, that he brings all this pressure. There's all these mugs. They have good secondary and second-level players. But do you really believe in them? But they have home field. And there's something about – I've been saying this all year. There's something about playing in Denver
No,
this
you've
year.
talked about how difficult it is.
It's not always that way, it seems like. But this year it feels like it's that way.
And also, I think with Buffalo, it's like this is a moment for Josh Allen.
Right.
Can he carry the Bills to a Super Bowl with not as much help
right.
as he's had in the past? So, to me personally, I'm one guy. That's the game I'm most intrigued by.
Rams-Bears, weather game, legacy there. Can the Bears be last year's Commanders?
Fair enough. I disagree. 888-808-1019. Peter is in Wantagh. What's up, Peter?
Gentlemen, okay. Here's the whole Bichette broke while I was online.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to say. To me, whether it's Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker, if they don't have Pete Alonso in the lineup, that doesn't mean anything as far as I'm concerned. They need to have Pete. It doesn't matter. He's gone.
Yeah,
right?
he's gone. He's not coming back.
Well,
I mean,
nothing you can do about it.
No. What my point is, all we hear is the locker room and run prevention. Well, they haven't. Tell me what Pete Alonso has done where the Mets have lost games because he couldn't field the ground ball or he couldn't scoop out a ball, or what Brandon Nimmo did as far as playing the outfield where they caught. What they lost games last year was because they couldn't get a starting pitching staff to go more than 4 innings. And other than Diaz, he was the only guy stopped. Everything, the bullpen, the pitching was terrible. Right? So now they get Bichette.
The knock on Pete's defense, and I love Pete, that is very tough to argue back, is his errant flip to Kodai Senga.
Right. That's the one everybody remembers.
Altered everything about this season.
Yeah, Kodai Senga has not been the same pitcher since.
He wasn't the same. The team wasn't the same. But what we need to do, and I guess there's a day for it, once this whole offseason is settled, but we can't go through every day of the offseason relitigating Pete Alonso. And I know I do that sometimes, but especially on a day like today where they've added somebody. Now, you may not like it as much, but Pete Alonso's been gone for a month. Time has flown by, but he's not coming back. He's out the door. And so as much as I wish he was back, he's not here. And the one thing about the New York Mets in 2026 that you cannot deny, and we'll see the results, I have no idea, is they are very different. They are an incredibly different team. They are built differently. They got a different locker room. They got a different closer. The complexion of the lineup is completely different. And we're going to find out pretty quickly, is that a good different?
Yeah.
Is that a bad different? Or is that a same different?
Yeah, the biggest difference is the closer. Because you had the best one in Major League Baseball. And now you have Devin Williams.
Yeah.
With Luke Weaver setting him up.
Yep.
And Luke Weaver was great 2 years ago. Not so much last year.
See, I think I've almost made peace with the bullpen. Like, it's weird, it's different and all that. The lineup is different. Like, Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso, and Jeff McNeil were stalwarts for a long time.
So that means everything is different.
Everything is different. Yeah.
I mean,
it is. Everything is
literally
different.
everything is different.
But the lineup feels like the most different part of the team.
Yeah, but the closer is so important.
No, I
man.
agree.
You almost didn't have to think about it. Now, you worried because Diaz would walk a guy. It'd take him a batter and a half to get onto his stuff, but then he was fine.
No, you're right.
If Devin Williams takes a batter and a half to get on his stuff, he's giving up 4 runs.
Yeah. No, if Devin Williams blows a couple of games, we're all going to lose our mind.
Yes.
Let's go to Fred in Utah. What's up, Fred?
Hey, what's up, Tiki and Evan? Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Tiki, we used to speak all the time. I was a UPS guy, remember? And I
yeah.
from Utah.
Yeah, of course.
And last time we talked was about my son with that crazy thing.
Yep.
Which is good now. He's playing football up at Utah State.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So he's good.
Congrats.
I like getting the coach because between him, his brother, his father, that's all he's ever done is football. So that's all he knows. He has great relationships with his players. You watch the defense of his guys when he had Suggs and T. Sizzle and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
The stability that he had given to that organization when he was there. I'm still kind of mad. Oh, he wasn't the coach when they kicked our butt. It was
that was Billy. That was Billy.
Right. But he's a great coach, and I love just the way that this calm, cool. You don't see him in the press going crazy and doing this and that. And with a young quarterback like Jackson Dart, I think that's what that guy needs because he's going to be good, but he's also can be a little wild and a coach like.
Well, so here's the thing, Fred, and appreciate you calling, getting back in touch with us. But the reason John Harbaugh feels so right is because we all know this. It's a cliche. Teams take on the personality of their head coach. And as much as I love Dave's, there was some erraticism and his personality. And it was great, but then it wasn't. And then it was frustrating, and then he wouldn't tell you anything. And then it was Bill Belichick at the press conference with a smile on his face. It was erratic. You didn't know what you were getting. You know what you're getting with John Harbaugh. And it's going to be consistent. It's going to be competent. And these guys are going to be dead serious about the job that they have in front of them. And if our great players, the Malik Neighbors, the Jackson Darts, Abdul Carter, etc., Brian Burns, if they play that way, then you know they're going to be winners.
You have yourself a top 5 coach in the NFL.
Yes.
However you want to rank it, I guess we could argue it at some point. Andy Reid and Sean McVay, I guess I'm partial to. But after that, is there really anybody better than John Harbaugh?
Yeah. No.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Let's go to Pete.
That's a Jim Harbaugh thing.
John does it too.
Does he?
I've watched a million videos this last week.
I trust you on that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Pete in Jersey City. Hey, Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, thanks for taking the call. I just really quick with the Yankees and their offseason. I know it's been slow, and you guys mentioned they haven't signed anyone from outside the organization. But the thing is, the roster is basically set, man. Yeah, they got the rotation. This, aside from left field, Bellinger, this same lineup led the majors in runs by a wide margin last year. Yep. The rotation should be better. You got Schlittler instead of Warren. You got Cole coming back. Devin Williams probably cost them 10, 15 games alone. So I understand. Like it hasn't been busy, but aside from left field, they don't need to be wheeling and dealing. And yes, maybe you'll see a trade if they don't get Bellinger, but the roster's set, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you add a right-handed catcher, but they shouldn't be going crazy because they got the team.
Pete, now you probably heard the caller a couple calls ago who said that all the other teams in the American League East have gotten better. And I guess by a player, you could say that's the case for, say, the Baltimore Orioles. But who's closing for the Orioles right now?
Ryan Helsley.
Exactly. Does that scare you?
Well, he used to be good.
Okay, but he wasn't last year.
When he came to the Mets.
And so he might be really good.
Oh, he'll be dominant.
My point is, though, does it scare you? The answer is no.
No.
If they had signed Edwin Diaz, I'd be like, oh, crap. The Orioles are going to be really good this year.
I think the team that you look at is Boston and Toronto, and the reason I still put Boston over despite the loss of Bregman is that they have so much good young talent that could all perform, and their pitching got it better.
But they lost. I mean, their pitching got better because they signed Rangers Suarez. But
and they also traded for Sonny Gray.
They lost May. They lost Matz. They lost.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
They got better. Come on, that's not losses.
Because they signed Rangers Suarez?
No, and they traded for Sonny Gray, who's really solid. Their rotation got significantly better.
Until he's not.
Yeah. We'll watch him
Sonny
shrink
Gray's solid until he's not. And you know that's true.
No, he's only been unsolid with the Yankees.
I don't think he's Boston, not Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I can't argue you're just projecting he's going to suck. And
no,
I think
we're just basing it off evidence.
No. The evidence is that Sonny Gray is good, but I don't want to get in the weeds on that. I think where the Red Sox are dangerous is their youth. Now, Red Sox fans don't want to admit that. They don't want to talk about that because they're pissed about losing Bregman. Totally get that. They are loaded with young position players who could all click at the same time. They also may not. I have no idea.
So are the Yankees.
And I think the Blue Jays are obviously the team to beat till proven otherwise. Now, they won the same amount of games as the Yankees last year. We forget that. But it felt, based on the head-to-head, that there was a big difference between the two teams.
Yeah, now they've lost Bo Bichette.
Right, but they've also added...
And they didn't get Kyle Tucker.
They added Akamoto, which I thought was a really good addition.
He played in Japan, and we have no idea what it's going to be.
I happen to be high on him.
Okay, great. Until I see him play in a Major League Baseball uniform, I can't say he's going to be great.
So the Yankees, in your opinion...
That's like saying, oh, well, Fernando Mendoza, when he gets drafted by the New York Jets, is going to be great.
No,
I promise you.
That's the Jets, so no.
But you know what I mean. You just can't say that until you've seen it.
So the team to beat in the AL East is whom?
It's still the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Because they won the AL East.
Who's the team to beat in the AL East, Sean?
It's Toronto.
All right. You guys are showing great respect. Let's go to Rich in North Carolina. Hey, Rich.
It's really the Yankees.
All right.
Go ahead, Rich.
Good afternoon, fellas. Evan, I wanted to ask you, do you think that a deal was already in place with Bo Bichette and that the Tucker talk was just a smokescreen by Stearns to drive up the price on Tucker, get back at the Dodgers, when all along they had a deal done with Bo Bichette. They just kept it on the quiet.
No, I think it's a great thought, and it makes the Mets sound so much smarter than everybody else. But my understanding is they thought they were going to get Kyle Tucker. They thought they had a real chance at Kyle Tucker. And I think that the Dodgers' aggressiveness in their offer, and obviously the Dodgers being the Dodgers, made it so that he didn't choose the Mets.
Right.
But I think what the Mets did is last night you had two options. If you were up, I happen to be sleeping. If you were up last night, Kyle Tucker says he's not going to the Mets, he's going to the Dodgers. You got two options. You can go to sleep. Three options. You can go to sleep, you can bitch and moan, or you can get back to work. And I believe that David Stearns, after missing out on his target, got back to work.
Yeah.
And Bo Bichette is a creative pivot. It's why when I brought it up before it happened to you, you guys didn't love it because there are holes on it. Like, all right, what happens to Beatty? What about your defense? I get it. But it made the most sense. And I think David Stearns just pivoted to the next available possible option. And I think Bo Bichette also is probably more drawn in on the short-term deal than Tucker was because he's younger.
Right.
And he has a chance to benefit from it even more than Tucker did.
He also has a full no trade.
He has a full no trade. Not that the Mets are trading him in the next, few months. And by the way, if the Mets suck this year, like they're really bad, and Bichette's having a great year, he'll wave that sumbitch so quickly.
No doubt.
He'll be like, get me out of here. Where am I going? Boston? Okay. See ya.
Don't you put that on us, Ricky Bobby.
Right.
Back to Toronto? You got it.
No, he doesn't want to play on the turf.
I don't worry about full no trade
He's
clauses.
coming to the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, the Mets are trading him to the Yankees?
Yeah.
When
Little
the Mets
setback for Anthony Volpe. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
By the way, this is also
it kind of would make sense. This is why a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you said he'd be best with the Yankees.
I've been saying that all offseason. Like, the evolution I've had on Bo Bichette is this. Whenever we talked about him with the Mets, I didn't see the fit. And he wasn't an ideal fit.
Because he doesn't fit,
because
ideally.
Other guys fit better.
Yes.
I always thought he fit the Yankees perfectly as he's my shortstop. I could move him to third base because Ryan McMahon can hit lefties. And eventually he's my third baseman, but I would probably start him off as my shortstop. Right-handed bat, plays the infield, and I'll trust Dominguez and Spencer Jones in my outfield. The Yankees didn't feel the same way. Once the Mets missed out on another of their targets, Kyle Tucker, I had to get creative just like the Mets did, which is, okay, he's not the perfect fit, but he's the perfect fit for what is remaining.
Right. There's nobody else that you're going to go get in free agency.
Trey is in Morristown. Hey, Trey.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Well.
I was just curious if the data models for Stearns that are moving guys to third, first all around are the same data models that had him sign Frankie Montas, Joey Wendell, trade for Adrian Hauser, get Ryan Helsley, and all those guys. Because if they are, I think I'm going to find a new sport to watch this spring. Thanks.
Thank you for the call, Trey. Let's go to Steve in Bayside. Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys. I don't see the Mets going after Bellinger at all. If you watch the way that they operate, they make these big offers. And by the way, they do go long-term for a guy like Soto. They will. But for somebody that's young, they'll make these big offers like they did with Kyle Tucker and like they just did. But if somebody's in their 30s, I don't see them doing it. I just don't think that's the way they operate. Now, that's not to say that the Yankees might not still be in trouble as far as getting Bellinger back, because, I mean, I'm worried about the Blue Jays. I'm worried about a mystery team. So I don't think that this is a done deal at all. And frankly, as a Yankee fan, I always feel like this thing about how the Yankees always sign their guys, I don't believe that anymore. I think that they are perfectly willing to go into the season with a pivot move like they did last year.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Cody Bellinger,
and he's not really their guy. He's there for a year.
He feels like their guy because of his father and the connection he has to the franchise.
You're familiar with the name because of his dad, but it's all. He was there for a year.
No, I agree.
It's not like he was.
Same with Soto.
And
even Robinson Cano, who's there for
now,
many,
Soto's
many
different
years.
because Soto is the best player in baseball.
Right.
So it's
he's
different.
not, but he's
But
he's
you
up
know what
there.
I mean. He's presented as that way. The best. I don't know.
No, he's one of the best hitters
Whatever
in
you
the
want.
side.
Whatever you want to say.
I
about
just
him.
have to be fair.
Throw a
about that.
superlative that means absolutely nothing, especially if he hits like crap for the first 2 months of the season. But whatever. He is Juan Soto.
Yes.
His name carries gravitas.
Yeah.
Even if it's not backed up by production all the time. My point is, it was a year. It hurt the Yankees because he helped them get to the World Series. Cody Bellinger was a good and felt like a good Yankee. But if you lose him, you lose him.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a pivot, ladies and gentlemen. Like,
there's no other free agents. I'm just looking at the list. There's nobody.
If they lose Cody Bellinger, it is, hey, Trent Grisham had a great year last year. Let's see him do it again. And we really believe in Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones.
Right.
That's the pivot. Now, does that allow them financially to be more aggressive in other areas? Yeah, I guess hypothetically, but for whom? There doesn't, trading for Freddie Peralta to me has nothing to do with the budget. It more has to do with the prospects you wouldn't be willing to give up because you didn't bring Bellinger back.
But doesn't that feel like a midseason thing?
No.
Peralta? Because if you bring in...
No, I'll tell you real quick. You know why? Because the Brewers are good. They're not trading them midseason. They're trading them now. Good
unless they're not good. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
If they're good, they're not trading him. That goes over so horribly with fans. If you do it now, still sucks, by the way, in Milwaukee, but it's just far different.
Well, it's so complicated with the Yankees, though, because Garrett Cole will be back, but when? It's not starting the season as their ace on the hill. Rodon is battling something, coming back from injury, right? And Max Fried, Cam Schlittler. And so you're kind of piecing together. I guess Luis Gil is still here.
I think Luis Gil would be in the deal.
Right.
He'd be gone.
But I'm talking about if you're, as it sits right now, what's the Yankees' starting rotation?
On opening day, Max Fried will be there. Cam Schlittler will be there.
Gil.
Warren will be there.
Warren and Weathers.
And Ryan Weathers, you just added. And Carlos is going to miss the first month.
And you have Ryan Yarbrough.
Right.
And Yarbrough.
Yep.
So it's like it's good, but it's not. It feels like it could be better, but doesn't need to be
Did
better.
we say Schlittler?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. By the way, real quick, it is Friday, and right around this time every single Friday, we like to check in on the mistaken idioms. And by the way, for anyone out there, because I've seen this now, accusing us of misusing idioms just so we make it on Idiots with Idioms cannot be farther from the truth. We just make so many mistakes.
Right.
But the beautiful part about today's Idiots with Idioms is we've expanded the field. It's not just me, Tiki, and Sean. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's another edition of Idiots with Idioms.
Hey, you know what time it is? It's Idiots with Idioms. Idiots with Idioms. Idiots with Idioms. Idiots with Idioms. Laugh till you split your sides. Idiots with Idioms.
But I think when you're looking to crawl, which the Giants are trying to do,
It's Idiots with Idioms.
the other one that jumps out at me is Barry Trotz, who had a championship, came to the Islanders, and had some really, really good sex.
Yo, anus. Clapping your hands because you think it's a good thing for the franchise. You get what you sow.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
I will tell you, and this is an apropos time to tell you this.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
Bayshore.
Now, what's the high school there?
Very nondescript. The Mordors.
The Mordor.
Mordors?
It's Idiots with Idioms.
He's really into the demon pop hunter people.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
When David Stearns got hired, every Met fan was just, goo-goo for gaga over him.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
And I think it was like a nonk and a wave.
Right.
Or a wink, whatever that is.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
In the
Vikings Saints.
I'm going to hit you game. What do they call that thing again?
It's Idiots with Idioms.
I didn't like the instanceness.
Bad job by me.
If George were alive, he'd be rolling over in his grave right now.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
It's not going to be weathersome, cumbersome.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
He clearly jumps off the table.
It's Idiots with Idioms.
So we're all trying to lip read or read lip.
Laugh till you split your sides. Idiots with idioms.
All right, that was a fun week.
Oh, wow.
We will make our NFL picks shortly, plus more of your calls, reaction to Bo Bichette, its impact on the Mets, and even its impact on the Yankees. 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. There's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older systems waste gas, so get yours checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Operating engineers local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. Whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by your local Mazda dealer.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling, there's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease your 2025 Mazda CX-5 for only $209 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
I'm Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books with Question One Sports. Frigid temps expected Sunday night in Chicago when the Bears host the Rams, and I think the magic carpet ride continues in the Windy City. Bears have proven they can run the rock, and if they need another second-half comeback, well, you've seen it enough now. Plus, the Rams' defense has been leaking oil for the last several weeks, and Stafford's been turning it over in droves. The real X factor in this game could be special teams, which is a big advantage for Chicago as well. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
History's masterpieces wouldn't be the same without their most notable accents. Neither would the Kia Sportage without its multiple drive modes. The Kia Sorento without its expansive 12.3-inch panoramic display. Or the Kia Telluride without its 3 rows of spacious seating. The Kia SUVs. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Hi, it's Sal Licata here for Soda Pro Painters. You know, my home is a very happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied.
spot. And while that's not an easy thing for me to achieve, my friends at CertaPro Painters had no such problems. Big jobs, small jobs, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Your best year starts with a savings. Don't miss the January Jumpstart event at Nielsen Dodge.
That's right, Chels. We're ready to start your new year with low lease payments to get you driving.
Lease a new 2026 Dodge Durango GT Plus all-wheel drive Hemi V8, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4, just $359 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
With 0 down payment and the credit help you deserve.
Come see all the great savings we've lined up so you can start your new year driving happy and hassle-free. Let the fun begin.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Start something new sales event. With approval term Durango 36, Ram 42 months due at sign, Durango 55.99, Ram 59.54 at tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
Is there a safe space for me? Who will listen to me when no one gets it? How will I handle it all?
How can I keep going like this?
We hear you. Call, text, or chat 988 for emotional support and crisis services. It's free, confidential, and here for you 24/7. Learn more at 988.ny.gov. Brought to you by the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Hey, Boomer here. When the game's on the line, you need a winning play. And for electrical pros, that's Cooper Electric. With 70 locations all across the tri-state area and easy online ordering, my friends at Cooper Electric have the inventory and expertise to keep your projects moving. From tools to wire to lighting, Cooper is the playbook for pros who want to win every single job. Make the winning play. Visit cooper-electric.com today. That's cooper-electric.com. Cooper Electric, our knowledge is electric.
RU fans, it's basketball season. Make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights hardwood action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights basketball is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
Just one drive in a Mercedes-Benz, you'll understand why it's a gift that keeps on giving. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration lives on at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Choose from over 500 vehicles and experience the love during the extended Holiday Love Celebration at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax. today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
When this happened, you talked about it on The Fan.
Manning back, steps up, heaves one down the middle of the field into the end zone, and Knicks makes the catch for the touchdown! He went up with the big hands and caught it on the Hail Mary on the final play of the half.
When New York sports happens, talk about it here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
So one of the running jokes throughout this horrible Ranger season, Boomer's made the joke more than anybody, I've joined in, is that as this season continues to get bad, when are they going to write the letter again? Because remember, they wrote that letter a few years ago. Hey, sorry, we suck, we're rebuilding. They were open and honest with their fans.
Yeah.
According to Sean Morash, he can break the glass if he wants. The Rangers, in the midst of this pathetic, horrible season, have written the letter.
Have they really?
Let's read this together in real time. I've only been able to start this. So
Is it a real letter? Are we sure of that?
No, it's from the Rangers' official Twitter account.
Go ahead.
A message from Chris Drury to our fans. We wanted to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base. We know and feel your disappointment with how the season has gone to this point. We are just as frustrated and want nothing more than to deliver an on-ice product you can be proud of. It's what drives us every day. No one in the organization is happy with what has transpired, from management to coaches to players. Over the last few years, we've had some successes and moments to cherish, but ultimately it was not the end goal. We are working relentlessly every day to bring a Stanley Cup back to New York because that is what our fans deserve. With our position in the standings and injuries to key players this season, we must be honest and realistic about our situation.
Yeah.
We are not going to stand pat. A shift will give us the ability to be smart and opportunistic as we retool the team.
A shift? What does that mean?
This will not be a rebuild.
Blowing it up, they're rebuilding, despite him saying it's not a rebuild. Keep going.
This will not be a rebuild.
It's a reset.
This will be a retool built around our core players and prospects. We will target players that bring tenacity, skill, speed, and a winning pedigree with a focus on obtaining young players, draft picks, and cap space to allow us flexibility moving forward. That
means tanking?
Yeah.
Well, here we go. That may mean saying goodbye to players that have brought us and our fans great moments over the years. These players represented the Rangers with pride and class and will always be a part of our family. As we start on this new strategic plan, we will continue to play hard with pride and passion for our fans. We appreciate your unwavering support for the Rangers more than we could describe, and thank you for all you do for our organization. You will begin to see some of our plans come to light in the coming weeks and months.
Are you going to cry over that?
Are you crying?
Are you all right?
Just like, dude, this guy sucks, man. Like, they were fine. They blew it up already. They got rid of Jacob Trouba. They got rid of Chris Kreider. They got rid of all the tenacity and all the skill and everything he wanted. And now they're going to kiss Artemi Panarin goodbye. They're going to say goodbye to Mika Zibanejad. I don't know, man. This is just like another letter. The letter just happened. They were supposed to retool for this moment and still be good now, while other teams like the Hurricanes continue to make the playoffs every year. So there you go. The Rangers are selling at the deadline. They have zero plan, despite what he says, because there's nobody available in free agency outside of, Artemi Panarin. So great. Great. Here we go. We're back at it again. Great. All
right over there?
Great. It's just a weekend ruiner, man. You know what? Enjoy Bo Bichette.
Did they do it on purpose, releasing it on a Friday afternoon? This
is a Friday dump if I've ever
Friday
seen
dump?
Yeah. Maybe people won't see it.
Oh, we're seeing it.
Of course they are.
We're not going to ignore it. I know it's WFAN. We don't talk hockey.
January.
But that's important. He basically announced to the world, we suck, we're rebuilding, and we're trading all of our good players. Be ready for that. Sorry, Ranger fans.
I mean, I don't get a soft landing.
The Islanders won last night. So,
Great. The Nets suck. The Rangers suck. The Giants, we hope are good. I got 18 months until they play again, and the Yankees haven't signed Bellinger. So where's the soft landing?
I told you, you can watch the Islanders.
Great.
They look good.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Chris Drury is not popular among
Fire
Rangers.
him now.
Jeez.
He should be out before any player.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you read the letter. So for anyone who's waiting for the Ranger letter, I know Boomer's been waiting for it. You got it. I hope Boomer happened to be in the car, so he got the letter from you. Because I think if he's getting that letter from anywhere, he'd want to hear it from you as a diehard Ranger fan. Let's make our picks for this weekend's games. Our picks are presented by ELEC 825, Building Our Future, by Collars & Co., the original dress collar polo. Last week, how many games were there? There were 6 games. How the hell did we do? Hold on, let me see.
That's a great point.
Well, we're not keeping track of
Let me see.
who's leading at this point.
I was 2-3, and you were 3-2 heading into Monday Night
Hold
Football.
on a second. I was 4-2. Tiki Barber was 3-3. And Sean Morash was also 3-3. So I'm ahead by 1 game after we picked all the games last week. Sean Morash, since you're in a bad mood and you're vulnerable, I think you should go first. Our picks for Divisional Weekend.
All right, game number 1 for me, Broncos laying 1.5. I'm all over them here. I struggle to see with how the Bills have been banged up, and I think the Broncos are going to run the ball down their throat. I don't think you get the happy ending here for Josh Allen. Give me Denver laying the 1.5. Sean Payton getting back to an AFC title game here, or yes, getting to one. Game number 2, I just can't ignore that Sam Darnold off an oblique injury. I'm supposed to lay 7 points here with Seattle at home.
That's got to move, right?
Yeah, you would think. And I know what the gamblers and the sharps would say, well, that means you should take Seattle. I'm not on that. Forget that. This is Kyle Shanahan. This is a Niner team that's tried and true. I know George Kittle isn't there. Too many points. Give me the Niners getting 7. And then on Sunday, I'm laying a 3 with New England at home. I just, Nico Collins with the concussion, is he even going to play in this game? It just kind of has that feel of New England's year. Give me the Patriots to cover. And then the granddaddy of them all, the Rams and Bears in cold weather. I'm getting 3.5 with the home Bears. I love the hook. I'm taking Chicago here. I just, even if they don't win, I have a hard time thinking the Rams blow them out. And how's Matt Stafford's hand going to be in this cold weather after he got banged up last week? So Bears, Pats, Niners, Broncos for me.
How you feeling? You still bothered by the letter?
I'm so pissed off. I cannot wait for the show to end and go punch the back seat of a Long Island Railroad train because this deranged lunatic should not be the general manager of my hockey team anymore, and my winter is ruined. But hey, at least you get all the players in the Olympics.
I tell you, the timing sucks. I wish Dolan was on tomorrow.
Right.
Well, tomorrow's Saturday. Next week.
Yeah.
Because what's he going to tell us?
Yeah,
the culture. Yeah. The
Sat there
culture.
talking to McMonagle. It's going to take time. It's going to take how many years?
Right. I wonder if he knew this was coming.
Probably.
Conference finals 2 to 3 years. Let's rush and get rid of everybody. So who even cares about football now?
Tiki, go ahead.
I agree with you. I'm with Sean all the way. I like the Denver Broncos. I like the San Francisco 49ers getting 7. I like the New England Patriots laying 3. But I'm going to disagree on the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. They're the better team. And I know Matt Stafford is banged up with his hand, and it could be compromised a little bit. But I feel like if this becomes a high-scoring game, which I feel like it will be, that the Rams have the ability to put one more touchdown on the board. So give me the Rams laying 3.5 in Chicago.
Wow. All right, game number 1. I'm going to obviously disagree with you guys. I've been on the Buffalo Bills all year. And I think what makes their story and Josh Allen's story so magical is you look at the players around them, especially even the running game, which was so good all year. It got shut down last week against Jacksonville. It's probably going to get shut down against Denver. And so this is about Josh Allen making plays. Josh Allen making amazing plays with his legs. Josh Allen making amazing plays with his arms. And I expect him to do it. Like, this is the Josh Allen redemption arc. And I think what he's about to go through in an incredibly tough environment to play, Denver, Colorado, I think it continues. And it's not a knock on the Broncos. It's more, this just feels like Buffalo season. So what am I doing? I'm getting a point here? I totally forgot. Am I really getting a point in Denver?
I don't even know what game you're picking.
The Buffalo game.
Denver's laying 1.5.
Thank you. So I'm getting 1.5 points. I think it's easy money. And by the way, I hope I'm wrong. I'm sick of the Buffalo Bills. They're in my division. So game number 1, give me Buffalo getting 1.5 points in Denver. Yeah. All right. Look, San Francisco deserves a ton of credit for what they did in Philly. And the George Kittle injury is brutal. But there's a reason the Seattle Seahawks are the number 1 seed. And guess what? It's not squarely because of Sam Darnold.
It's a big part of Sam Darnold.
It's a big part. But
and
what about
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What about their defense?
No, they're great.
And
the dark side.
And I honestly think whether it is Sam Darnold, and he will play, or it's even Drew Lock, I think the Seahawks are just a better football team. So even with the Sam worries and the number being as high as it is, between the home field advantage, between the roster just being as loaded as it is, between just being better and their strength being defense, I think Seattle wins this game and they cover the number.
Yeah, but 7 in a divisional round playoff with a division game, basically. That's a big number.
It is a big number. And I'm taking it. Give me the Seattle Seahawks laying the 7 in game number 2. Let me get to game number 3. I want to pick the Houston Texans. Number 1, D'Amico Ryans is likable. C.J. Stroud is likable. Their defense is awesome. But the world hates me, and the world hates Jets fans. And I just know, we're living in a world in which the AFC Championship game is what you guys went through last year, except it's worse for me. When you went through Philly, Washington, you're like, I don't care about Washington. I don't hate them, blah, 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 blah. I hate the Patriots. I hate the Bills. I hate them both. I don't sugarcoat it. And it feels like the capper for this Jet season is having to sit through an all AFC East AFC Championship game. So despite my love for Houston and my belief in Houston, I don't know, man. What Zach Kerr put together, play calling last week, I kind of think the Patriots are going to win this game like 9-3. And I don't think I'm that far off. So give me New England laying the 3 against the Texans. And game number 3, I think this is the Ben Johnson welcome to reality. You're about to get slapped by the king of head coaches in this NFL. You think you're so smart? You're not Sean McVay. And I kind of believe that even in the snow, even in the cold weather, which the Rams have experience with, remember last year, the Philly game, which they should have won, I like the Rams to spank the Bears. I don't even think this game's going to be close. I think the Rams will jump out to a big lead. We'll think the Bears will come back because they've done it all year. And I think LA will make the Sunday night portion, it's a 6:30 kick, go down easy. So give me the Rams laying the 3.5 in Chicago against the Bears. So I'm taking the Bills as an underdog, Seattle as a favorite, New England as a favorite, and the Los Angeles Rams as a favorite. That is and are our picks for championship weekend in the NFL. Hey, Sean, who do the Rangers play tomorrow?
They play Philadelphia.
Will you be watching?
Yeah, I mean, it might be the last time I get to see Vincent Trocheck or Tommy Panarin play a game, so...
Is that who love those guys so much?
Dude,
that
I love
losing them.
I love those guys, man. Those 2 conference final runs, and it just again shows you in this town when you are that close. I don't want to hear there's always next year. That was just 2 years ago. They're within a freaking stupid Eric Gustafson dumb penalty on a 5-on-3 away from forcing a Game 7. Like,
you sound like hockey's your favorite sport.
I love this Ranger team and this Ranger
so
group.
It's
like,
just
I
this
fell
specific
in love
team.
Well, like, I love the Rangers, but this group that they had, like, they made me fall in love with those
losers, bro. They haven't won anything.
You're a loser, Evan. Have you won anything?
Hold on. You said this to me, both of you, about the Mets. They haven't won anything. Great, you got to an NLCS. Big deal. The locker room is this. The locker room is that. You haven't won anything. You got to break up the core. You guys have given me that lecture about the Mets. Your team's far worse than the Mets. Your team is far worse. You didn't make the playoffs last year. You suck this season. So the idea of now, Drury shouldn't be the one doing it. I'll agree with you on that.
It's ridiculous that he's writing the letter, dude.
But hold on. The idea that, I can't get rid of Vincent Trocheck. Yeah, because the Stanley Cups are all over the place for what he's brought you.
Because when
Give me a break.
Because
with
the
that
last
crap.
time they did this, newsflash, they retooled and rebuilt because they signed Artemi Panarin. Not because of any of the great trades they made, because none of those trades really materialized outside of Adam Fox. So I know that this bum of a GM is going to do this. They're not going to have any plan because they thought Connor McDavid was coming here, and they're going to be light years away, and I'm not going to get a cup in my adulthood, and I'm going to join the list of losers in this town. So way to make it about the Mets, Evan.
So who should have written a letter?
Who should have written a letter?
The new GM.
The owner who sat in here with 2 guys at our station who just told us that they've lost some close games. 2 weeks later, is the GM writing a letter because he has carte blanche to do whatever because Leon Rose fixed the Knicks. Chris Drury's not Leon Rose. Get him out of here.
I feel bad for you, Sean.
I do not.
I do, because your weekend is now completely
Just so, like, I
distracted
cannot
and
focus.
ruined.
I don't give a crap about any of these football games. I don't give a crap if Cody Bellinger goes to Toronto, because he probably will now anyway. It's just over. Get me to week 1 John Harbaugh now.
I will make him feel better by simply doing this.
You got Yankees way before that.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Great.
I'll make you feel better with this. John Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, John Harbaugh.
Is he going to sign?
Holy crap. Did you see this about John Harbaugh?
Evan,
What?
I swear to you, I will punch you in your face, and I don't care if HR comes down here.
I'm joking. Do you know that Jerry Recco did that to Sean? So the other day when John Harbaugh, the night that John Harbaugh, he's expected to be the head coach, we're sitting there. It's about 9:30. So Jerry's like done with his last update. And he looks up, and he's very quiet. And he's like, oh, my God. Stands up and goes, oh, my God, John Harbaugh dead. And he starts walking, and Sean He's like, what?
Dude, it was the worst thing Jerry could have said.
The funny part is, Jerry fooled me too. I thought the contract was dead. Sean thought he actually died. And I'm like, what?
What?
He wasn't going to say that.
He said John Harbaugh dead, and all I had in my mind was, oh my God, plane crash.
Oh my
No,
God, dude, bro.
Oh, because all we were talking about
All
was
we
the
were
private
talking
planes.
about was
That's
the private planes. That was what was in my head.
Yeah, don't worry. The John Harbaugh deal has not fallen apart.
And he's not dead.
Yet. Just give it time.
And he's not dead yet either.
Not yet.
Jesus, can we have some positivity here?
Not quite dead yet.
Not quite. Let's end it with a phone call from a guy who's probably going to give us positivity. Jody in Warren, New Jersey. Jody, how you feeling about the Bo Bichette deal?
I love it. I think he's tough. I think he, as you would, Sean, as Loogie would say, I think he's a dog, one of the good dogs, and I'm very happy with it. I think it's a great move. And the reason why I'm calling is I'm going to put my Pete Alonso thought to bed. I remember when Tiki was asked, would he have gone to the Eagles, when he was a Giant based on what happened with Saquon.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I was a Giant. Alonso should have that thought. He could have reached out to Stevie Cohen. They would have worked it out. He would have been a Met forever.
Nah, this is on the Mets. The Mets should have made an aggressive short-term offer on Pete. They didn't do it. And you know what? I hate to say it because I miss Pete. It's over. And this Met team is completely different. We do end with positivity. Real quick, if we have time, I've got the Bo Bichette bingo from Free Agent Bingo right here.
Kind of forgot this.
Our predictions from a few months ago on Bo Bichette. Take a listen. Here we go.
Bo Bichette, I have staying with the Toronto Blue Jays. Tiki Barber, same. Sean Morash, I think he stays. Going Blue Jays. Tommy Lou Gallagher, clean sweep. He stays.
Wow. So we're all wrong.
And I still lead 4-2-0.
Yes. In our free agent bingo from our predictions back in November. But Bo Bichette is a New York Met. Coming up, you'll hear Craig Carton and Big Mac Chris McMonagle tell you why it sucks and it was a horrible move. And David Stearns is desperate. I'm just assuming. We're back on Monday at 10 a.m. I'll give you a recall a little bit later on about Bo Bichette. And Sean, we love you. Enjoy your weekend.
Sweet. See you.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Bills and the Broncos kick off the divisional round of the